You were. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. My name is Jury, and as always, I'm gathered here with co-host Ryan Poole, who I'll pass it to introduce the guest.
Tonight, on a very, very, very special episode of Music Row Hideout.
The most special.
The Taylor Swift post-concert edition.
Yes.
We're probably not going to talk about that much, but anyway. But every time Taylor Swift comes into town, isn't it just special because she blesses you?
She's a goddess.
Goddess. She does have like a god-like drawl, I noticed. But before we go into that,
Genuinely.
Tonight our guest is Silvie. I don't know if we
Hi.
won't even say your real name.
I don't have a real
Unless
name.
you want to. But
No, that is my real name.
Silvie.
I have only one name. No,
Nice.
no last name.
Like Prince.
Yeah.
She is an indie artist located here in Nashville, Tennessee. And tonight we're going to play some songs and we're going to talk about the inspiration of the new EP. But first, we got to talk about Taylor Swift because God visited our town.
It's part of the culture at this moment.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So we were just talking about this right before the show went in, but I was like, this is like good stuff because Taylor just came to town. If you're listening to this, not in Nashville, she's coming to your town soon or was recently there, if you're lucky.
Or we'll be there again.
She will.
Someday.
Now, did you go to any of the shows or were you a part of it? Are you a Taylor
No.
Swift person?
Swifties is what they're called.
I'm not a Swiftie. I don't feel like I can call myself a Swiftie. Like, I don't have the right. I liked Midnights. That was good. But I was not about to spend that much money on anything, but definitely not at a concert.
I feel that.
I didn't even know it was outside, too. When everyone was like, I'm so worried about the weather, I was like, why? It's at Bridgestone. And then I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, yeah, Bridgestone's not big enough.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which, how many people fit in that stadium? Do we know?
70,000.
Yes, so many.
Wow.
And it was
That's how many
sold
people were
out
there.
for 3 days. She's
Yeah.
like, how'd she do that? I do think she's
210,000 people.
kind of like God. Like, if there was going to be a human that was God, it'd be Taylor Swift. To me. And I'm not even a Swiftie.
I mean, I like Taylor Swift. I like Taylor
She's
Swift
good.
music.
She's cool.
I've gone to 2 other tours of hers. My wife is a huge fan, and it is so incredibly expensive every time. I've been to 2 shows, probably like $3,000. Yeah. Ridiculous. But we didn't go this time because we're saving for a house. So I was like, I can't
Well,
drop
House, Taylor
$90,000.
Swift.
Maybe you didn't go, but your
But my
sister
wife
more
wanted
than
to,
went.
My sister, your sister,
My sister,
my wife.
your wife, went so many times.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, your sister.
Yeah.
Your
My
wife.
wife.
That's cute.
She was mine first.
That's creepy when you say that.
Yeah.
That's real weird.
Hey, I was pulling her hair.
Oh God.
Yikes. Yeah, that goes downhill really quickly.
Yeah, okay.
We're in Tennessee,
Back
not
to Taylor,
Alabama.
Back to Taylor Swift.
No, we were dog sitting, which by we I mean my wife was dog sitting. She dog sits on the side for extra cash. I do not because I don't want to sit at dogs.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I'm a huge dog fan,
I'm trying to sit on them.
but I'm not trying to sit on them. It's so dangerous. But she wanted to go to this thing, so I watched the dog, and she just wanted to go to the bridge. So she went out to the bridge the first night, found a place, a good
Which, if you're
spot.
not in Nashville, we have a pedestrian bridge. It's a bridge that used to be for other things,
Sure.
but now only people can walk on it.
I mean, it's mainly for going over the
Oh.
river.
Right.
I feel like that's what it's
Yeah.
always
What
been
it-
for.
No. You think they built that big of a bridge for people to just have a nice time? Certainly,
Whoa.
it had to have been for like either a railroad or for cars, and they decommissioned it, and we're like, people can walk on it, right? We need Wesley. Can
Surely.
you look into the history of the pedestrian bridge? I can't imagine the city being like, let's
Already
just
putting
Fascinated.
we're
I've
like
never
5
thought
minutes
about
in.
this.
yeah. Oh, let's
Putting
just
Wesley
build
to
a bridge
work.
for people to walk across. That would be nice, so that they can get to the stadium.
Yeah,
Unless
there's a
the stadium
giant
paid
bridge,
for
I
it.
guess.
Or if like the
could be
Titans
it.
lobbied for it because they're like, but we want people to come from downtown to here. Anyway, Wesley's on it. Before becoming one of the most famous bridges, it was known as the Sparkman Street Bridge in 1909. It connected things. Was it for people though?
So look, it was always used to go over the river.
Well,
yeah, but not for humans. I would guess.
that does seem to be what bridges are usually doing.
typically.
going over something.
But I didn't want to throw out there because I know my wife would be very proud of herself. The third night, she waited in her car.
I was going to
for
ask,
hours.
did she do the rain thing?
It was for cars, says Wesley.
Okay, it was
No,
for cars.
the first
She waited-
night she goes to the bridge and watches. Which did you have any friends that went to the bridge?
No, I don't think so. But I know about it.
So everyone's filled on the bridge.
Yeah.
You can't see the screens. They have that screen turned off.
For this reason?
Probably.
So people can't watch? That's kind of mean.
You literally can hear the concert and you can see the people in the stadium and probably their flashy lights, but you can't see the show.
Huh.
Night 2. Myself and my girlfriend met up with his wife and we all
I was
watched
watching
it.
the dog at home, which I was fine with, by the way.
Yeah,
I did
that's
not
fair.
want to go.
That's brave. I was like, someone was like, one of my friends was like, we should do that. And then I was like, I actually don't want to drive downtown. That's
Yeah.
like actually what I'm avoiding this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's
She was
exactly
like,
what
oh,
I
yeah.
wanted. Like a week before, I knew it was going to happen. She was, I want to go down there. I was like, look, I will be avoiding downtown. Like,
Yeah.
where we live is as close as I'm getting to downtown.
Yeah, I was about to ask you where you live, but that's weird on a podcast, I guess.
That's allowed. I live near
It's not.
Belmont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So we took a Uber and they dropped us off. We were just going to look for scalpers and hopefully buy a ticket. And we were still trying to get them through Ticketmaster, which is hell on earth. But we ended up just deciding to watch it from outside because you can see the screen on the opposite side and you can hear the music. And there was 1,000 other people gathered around. So it was a little party.
It's basically like you're there.
It
You
was.
just can't see her. And you didn't have to pay hundreds of dollars.
Correct. So we thought it would be, I kind of thought it would be lame, but over time you get used to it. And by the time we left, we're like, we kind of saw the show. It kind of felt like
Yeah.
we went anyway.
I love that.
So,
Yeah. But the next day.
and his wife joined us for her second time. Okay,
But
third
the third day, yeah, she's waiting in her car for
And
hours
Taylor rose
for
again.
the show to start, and
Literally
she's
the third day.
yeah, gotcha.
And on the third day, Taylor,
Literally, it looked like her
Played
show
in the
was
rain.
dead, but she rose again.
she really did. She did it.
But she waited so long, and so many people left because they gave up.
So
So
sad.
when she
for
saw a
them.
large crowd of people leaving, she snuck in,
Full ass.
full
snuck in.
into the stadium, got some good seats. It was I was about to go to bed, and I get a text I just got in the stadium,
Oh my
and I was like,
gosh.
all right, you're not getting home. She got home 3:30,
Damn.
because the show started so late.
I wonder what you think about it. I'm proud.
No, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really impressive. Also, a little bit scary that someone could just get in there, but I'm sure she's a good person. She deserved it.
Debatable. But no, it was only because choking on my own breath here.
Well, the Nashville concert,
Yeah.
we kind of implied this, but it got rained out, and there
was
was
a
a
crazy
lightning
lightning.
storm, and so they had to postpone it by
For
many
hours.
hours.
But it was only because so many people were leaving.
Yeah.
And the guards just don't care because they're not
They're
they don't
like,
care
"No
about
one's
people
gonna-"
leaving. So
Yeah,
she just
I
walked
guess.
through that crowd,
Yeah. That's so smart.
Yeah.
I love this for her.
Yeah, it's great for her.
Yeah.
I love it for me too because I didn't have to go and
Yeah.
be out until 3:30 in the morning on Sunday when I'd work in the morning. So
Yeah.
I was stoked on that. But
That's fair.
Anyway, Silvie is an indie artist from
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee,
Going right into
and not
What
really a
perfect
Swiftie.
segue.
Even though people could be Silvies. Did you think about that?
I never thought about
is that
that.
what you call your people now?
I don't think I have people at the moment, but that'd be sick. I wouldn't be mad about it.
So where are you from originally?
Texas. I
Oh.
grew up in Fort Worth. And
I have a bunch of family there that I've never
Cool.
met.
Oh, whoa. Okay, cool. Yeah, I lived there. Then I lived in Waco for 5 years,
Okay.
and then I moved here.
Did you know Seth in Waco?
Yes, I knew Seth when we were kids. The
Oh,
church that I went to as a child was connected to the church he also went to in Waco, and then we would go to church camp together. So,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very. I knew who he was my whole life, and then in college, we were both my ex was good friends with him, and so that's how we became. I feel like
Is it
better
Seth
friends.
Mooney, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friend of the show?
Yeah.
friend of the show.
okay.
Seth is Mooney.
Seth is Mooney.
Wow.
That's true. We we named his episode "Mooney is Seth."
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
deep.
good.
Wow. I know, we're just
Profound.
we're profound like that. Sometimes we can switch words around. It's
It's
nice.
tough because you want to call him Seth Mooney. We want to call him Seth Mooney. You probably don't. You knew him beforehand.
No,
But-
it's still hard though, because I'm I feel like saying like Seth and his last name, people don't. It doesn't click, but you have to say
No, it
Seth,
doesn't at
but
all.
the one who's Mooney.
Yeah. Seth, but the one who's Mooney.
That's
Not
way more
as
words.
catchy as Seth
Way more
Mooney.
difficult, actually. Yeah.
He should change his name.
Yeah,
No.
legally to Mooney. That'd be honestly kind of sick.
So is that how? So we were talking before the show. So you're friends with a lot of people who've been on the podcast before. We heard of you through Timothy Edward Carpenter, but you also know Abby, you know Gabby, and Seth. So is Seth like how you met all these people?
Yes. Seth, and well, he didn't even, I don't think he introduced me to him, but Michael Guillot, my producer, they're like best friends, and they moved here around the same time, which was basically around the time that I moved. But I had met Michael at my cousin's wedding like years before, really randomly,
Oh, wild.
because he also was from Texas, or lived in Texas. So anyways, it's very random. But yeah, so I knew Michael, started working with him. He obviously knew Seth. Actually, the first time I ever did anything with Michael was with Seth. So we did a song where I was like featured on a Mooney song called Superstar. It was cool and fun. So yeah,
Very
then I just met all of them at that time.
So how long ago did you come out here? How long have you been here in Nashville?
It was November 2020.
Oh, that's a great time to move
Yeah,
to Nashville, isn't it?
I was like, I don't know why I did that, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
You know?
didn't know what was coming. Like
that was
you know.
that was at the end. That was like mid-COVID though.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was thinking the year before. You're right. You actually moved in the middle
Yeah,
of COVID.
I was like, yeah,
That's tough.
it was kind of crazy, but it was kind of no, it was still like the middle. No one knew if it was the middle at that point though. We were all
Right.
like, maybe it's close to being done, and then
Right.
all the other ones came.
Did we have a vaccine at that point? Was that?
No, because I
November
got
2020.
Was it second?
well, I know I got vaccinated here with one of my like coworkers, but I don't know if it was the first or second one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. It's like dozens and
Yes.
dozens at this
It's all
point.
all a blur.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
Didn't
don't
the
know.
vaccine not come until Biden?
December 2020.
December
So
2020.
okay. Yeah.
Oh,
That-
oh,
okay.
yeah.
That tracks.
Okay,
then
so
I
like
was here.
1 month before Biden.
Right. And at that point, like, that's when people were like,
BB.
"Is it about to be over?"
Yeah, we
You
were
know?
like, hell yes, vaccine. We're all fine.
And then they're like, "Nope, at least another year." But
You know, I really wished, I've said this before, I think, on the show probably, but I really wished that we had like a COVID D-Day.
yeah.
D-Day? No, sorry, not
Not-
D-Day.
What does
No,
this
no, no.
mean?
The V-Day.
You know, V-Day was like after World War II, they were like, it's over. And like people are in the streets in Times Square and like kissing each other and
Yeah.
like, it's over. We're free.
Yeah.
We needed that for COVID, but we
Yeah.
never got it.
I feel like because isn't it like never going to be over? It's here forever, but now
Maybe.
it's
Do
Well, yeah,
people
now it's
still
like just a
chill.
disease
Do
that we
people
have.
still get COVID?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People still get COVID. Some people still die from COVID.
For the last maybe 2 years. For like 2 years, to me, it's felt over, and I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal anymore. And then I hear
Doesn't
like
feel
random,
like that to me, Ryan.
True. But then I hear random stories, and they're like, oh no, my friend just died. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, Mike is still doing its thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
No.
not as intense, I don't think.
I don't know. You don't
I
hear
think
about
we
it
would
as
know
much.
if it was.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but like no. When I got COVID, I like lost taste for like almost 2 years. Like
Oh
I
my
just am now
God.
getting it back. It didn't
That
just
would be
lose
tragic to me.
it though. It like fucked with my taste. Like everything tasted bad.
What was like the first thing you tasted again?
I don't know if there was I could eat rice and cheese was all I could eat for like months.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's so
it was a bit
sad.
rough. But and I remember when I got soy sauce back, that was a big day.
That's
I was like, this is
a really
the
important
best.
flavor.
Yeah, like I have flavors again. No, now I have almost everything. Some things are still a little weird. Onion's weird still. Chocolate's a little weird. But most things.
you've been like handed such an opportunity to remember things that none of us remember. Okay, ask me, what's the first flavor I ever had? I don't know. I was a baby.
That's true. Yeah,
don't
you
know, I was
have
a
like
baby.
it's like a rebirth.
Yeah.
But of
Being
your taste
reborn,
buds.
just like Taylor.
Me and Taylor, peas in a pod, you know?
the deities among us.
Yeah. Soy sauce. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
instead of actually having a day when it was officially over, because that would give way too much freedom to the people, instead they just got us distracted with a new war and Eastern Europe. So.
Yeah, and it's just slowly like we're forgetting. We're like we've returned to normal life by now. It's very normal now.
Yeah.
But I wish that there had been a day where they're like, guess what? It's
like
normal again.
We're okay.
And we get to celebrate.
Yeah.
That'll never
There
happen.
was, yeah.
It'll
yeah.
never happen. So.
Huge bummer. That was a crazy time. But yeah, I moved during COVID. All that to say.
So,
Yeah.
so you did know some people. who
Wait,
moved out here
before you
already.
go much deeper, I think it's about time that we
we should play a
the
song.
first song.
So people
Oh,
know what you sound
yeah.
like.
Important.
So what's the first song that we're going to be hearing?
It's called The Zoo. And it's
Sounds like
probably...
such a happy song.
It honestly kind of is. It's like the funniest song I've ever written and put out. So...
Okay. Here's the zoo.
You ask me to serve your divorce papers at the zoo. When I tell the story, my friends think it isn't true. My mom says you sound like a poorly written character in a young adult novel. The way you crave the melodrama, asking to serve your divorce papers at the zoo. I'm keeping a note in my phone of the shit you'd say, so I won't forget you were selfish in every way. Like how you were seeing that girl when you were out of town and came home complaining that I was not accommodating, holding my tongue just to listen to shit you'd say. I'm not trying to embarrass you or ruin your life, but if you felt a little of my pain, I wouldn't mind. When you're laying in your bed and you forget the things you said, let me remind you and say thanks for making it easy not to miss you. You said it's because I'm a woman I didn't cheat, as if somehow I couldn't want more than what you offered me. You cried in my car when I said you could not stay at the house, like I should be sorry. Why don't you call Mr. Hardy? I'm busy being a woman, waiting faithful and holy. I'm not trying to embarrass you or ruin your life, but if you felt a little of my pain, I wouldn't mind. When you're laying in your bed and you forget the things you said, let me remind you and say thanks for making it easy not to miss you. I know you act like all these songs are kind of funny to you, but I hope it kind of hurts when you remember how I knew you. It sucks how well I listened, and it sucks how much you didn't, 'cause you're the one who's living with a million consequences. I'm not trying to embarrass you or ruin your life, but if I never saw your face again, I wouldn't mind. When you're lonely in your bed and you're forgetting why I left, let me remind you and say thanks for making it easy not to miss you. Oh, thanks for making it easy not to miss you.
And we're back.
Now, on the break, I went to Jury's car to get his backup vape, and I thought this would be good to talk about on the show because in your center console, I saw a
Why are you
golden.
digging through my center
I saw
console?
no. Sorry, like
Really?
it was it was outside. It was invisible view. I didn't look. Okay,
Sure. I mean, I don't care if you did.
it was
Not
a
hiding
golden
secrets.
ring, and I saw it, and I'm like, "What is that? One ring to rule them all?" And I looked,
Yes.
so I picked it up.
Yes.
I picked this ring up to be like, "What is this?" And inscripted on the outside in
No
Elvish,
way.
it's the gosh darn ring of power in your car.
Okay.
You
I
want to
can-
talk about this?
I can
Golem?
explain. I can explain. I can
Wild.
explain. So I don't wear a wedding ring
Okay.
because I have like a light like skin allergy to a lot of metals. And I just it just like itches. It's just very uncomfortable. It's not that bad, but I don't do it.
Fair.
But I've been thinking about getting like a silicone ring or something, trying something else out. Because it's just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's weird. Because my wife wears like her ring all the time. You know?
It's fair.
But then my wife bought me.
The Ring of Power.
She did, but it was a cryptex. If you know what bring up a cryptex, Wesley. And inside of this cryptex was 2 rings, both inscripted with the Ring of Power. One her size and one mine.
Damn.
Well, apparently she didn't pick the sizes. It was just like a package thing that she bought, and it came with these 2 rings.
She trusted that it was going to be.
Yeah, a cryptex, one of those. It's like a puzzle box. You have to. Yeah.
Wow. Did you have to solve it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that was fun.
It.
Yeah.
So
really
you earned the Ring of Power.
Right, and so in
We're
it
painting
were
a
these
really
rings.
interesting picture of your wife.
Yeah, she's psycho.
She dog sits. She got you a cryptex with matching rings of
sounds
power in
cool.
it.
She's great.
She
I'm a fan.
You are making
That's
her sound
good.
really cool.
Yeah, and anyway, that was in it. But though I tried to wear the ring, but it's like, I mean, it's just a package deal, like a cheaper
Okay.
ring.
Oh, okay.
And
So
so,
the
like-
risk didn't work out as far as fitting.
Well, it fit fine, but it was just like the cheap metal, like just irritates my
Yeah.
skin. So I just
Make
threw
it
it like in
turn
the.
green.
It's like in a cup holder. That's what it's in. It's like in the cup
Okay.
holder there, not in the center console.
Now let's
You're
talk
like,
about the zoo.
away.
Let's talk about the zoo.
Yeah.
The Nashville Zoo,
we've-
San Diego
we've-
Zoo.
this has been a very Taylor Swift and your wife oriented episode, which is great because she is my sister, so I'm interested too.
Right.
And
But
I
you
was
don't
a
even know her.
I know so much about her though. When I meet her, it's gonna be amazing.
And we're like, oh my
It's
god,
like-
BFFs.
It's like when we met Abby Holiday because we had a whole episode with Seth,
right.
and we're like, we know your song, like we've been hearing about you. Anyway,
Yeah, I remember when she came on telling her, I said, like, you're definitely the only guest whose name I've sung in the car.
Yeah. That's wild and cool.
but also you're an artist, and you wrote a song called "The Zoo," and you just played it. So the Zoo, I listened to that earlier today, and it's like very confessional lyrics and like very like out there, like there's no like ambiguity as you're listening to it, like what it's about.
Yeah.
What inspired it? What did you?
I know it's so cryptic and hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about my divorce. It's about the most interesting experience of my divorce process, which was when my ex asked me if he could have his papers served at the Nashville Zoo. And
Which like doesn't it open with like you served me divorce papers at the zoo?
you asked me to serve your divorce. Yeah. So yeah, I was the one filing, which I learned so much about divorce by getting divorced.
The best way to learn is to do.
Yeah, you gotta go through it to really know all the ins and outs.
You're ready for your next one.
Right, I'm prepared. I'm very knowledgeable. But what I didn't know is that, so like I was the one filing, I had to be the one to like serve the papers. And it's like every time you have them try to serve a person, if they aren't there where they say they're going to be, then like I have to pay for it for each time. And it's kind of expensive. And my ex was pretty like a little bit difficult to deal with in the process. He was like in and out of the country touring and stuff. And it was getting to the point where I was like, I have to serve the papers by a certain point, or I don't even literally remember, but I would have to like do more shit. So I was like, please tell me where you want me to do this, like have them, because also I was like, can I serve the papers? Which I'm not allowed to do, which is a bummer.
I feel like that's like a recipe for a problem.
It's like, it makes sense, but I was just like, but I will be able to find him. Anyways, he finally like responded and he was like, yeah, can you have them serve me at the Nashville Zoo in front of the lions? At first I was like, we don't have lions at our zoo, so that's your
Another
first
evidence
issue.
Kind of a shit zoo.
I love our zoo. I do love the zoo. I had a membership last year and we went like all the time.
I'm
But
just spoiled because we grew up in San Diego.
okay, that makes sense.
So when I go to the Nashville Zoo, I'm just like, where the pandas at?
Yeah.
You got no pandas? How about
I
that?
did think the other day, I was like, my friends went to St. Louis and were posting videos of the zoo, and it was like a polar bear. And I was like, damn, I forgot they can have those at zoos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The Nashville Zoo's great. I went and it was fun. It was a good time.
like,
It's small.
It's nice if you're not paying for it, for one thing, because it's like a walk around a nice park in a beautiful state
cool
with like some animals on the side. Anyways,
So, but you had to pay to get in this time.
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't end up getting served there because I literally like emailed my lawyer and I was like, I'm so sorry. He asked me if he could have it. And he was like, what the fuck? He didn't say that because he's a lawyer, but I was like, I know, I don't get it.
Was he already going to be at the zoo, or was
No.
he going to the zoo just to make your life harder?
I think I've thought about this because people have been like, why would he do that?
Mm-hmm.
I think like he was the kind of person who really did not like feeling like sad feelings. So it was like almost a crazy coping mechanism to be like, I want everything to be fun about this divorce process because I'm sad and I don't want to think about that. That is me. That is my like assessment of the situation.
Sure.
I have no idea, but it wasn't shocking to me, if that says anything, based on our
says a lot.
relationship. It was like, of course. Anyways, that's what I wrote the song about. And the reason I wrote it is because I like got this text from him at work, and I told my friend about it, and she's like, "You should write a song about that." I was like, "That'd be really funny."
That's what Taylor Swift would do.
That's what Taylor Swift would do, my inspiration. But yeah, so then I did, and it took a long time. It took me like 6 months to like finish it. And then when I went in the studio, I was still kind of like, I don't know if I like this, but then Michael and then Nathan Knox, who played drums on it, it was amazing.
Michael,
Both of
you're a
them-
producer.
Yes, Michael Guillot, amazing producer.
I feel like
We've heard of him.
I've heard
He's
that name
produced
a
a
bunch
lot
of
From
of
times.
all
friends.
of the people you've had on this podcast, you surely have heard his name.
we should get him on.
Doesn't
That's a
it
good point.
kind of this is not how it happened, but it kind of seems like we just found a random friend group and we're like, do all of you guys want to be on a show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a friend
that
group
is what it
of
feels
like,
like.
musicians.
Yeah.
because all of them are.
We just have to have on Michael Guillot now.
Yeah.
To like put a
And
lid on
there's
the...
one more that like the other one.
Yes.
What?
Right.
I think that Gabby has worked with a lot. John
John Class.
Class.
Yes.
He's the other one we hear a lot. And I think there's a third one that some people in the group have worked
Like a
with.
producer.
Yeah, I think there's one more. But I know we've heard Michael Guillot a lot. I know we've heard John Class a lot.
Both amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll have to have them on the show.
It is funny if you
Yes.
think about it. I feel like the last like 15 episodes have been like they've all been friends. Like,
Yeah.
like that's wild.
That's
You guys should
fun.
have a sitcom
Yeah.
in the 90s
Really fun.
the
called
90s.
Friends.
Yeah. Great. That's so original. I
Which
can't
friend
believe
would you
about that.
be?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like a Friends person. I've never watched it all.
I mean, you're a little younger, I think, than we are.
Yeah. I also just like never. I don't know. I just never got into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about their personalities except that
I see.
Phoebe was the one who was kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Yeah.
so weird though. You should get on that.
I guess
Like,
at this point I'm kind of like, yeah, I've never seen Friends.
still relevant.
Yeah. No, it's
It feels
cool.
like a flex.
Now,
Are
do
you
you-
the Office person?
I did. Yeah, I do like The Office.
Okay, I love.
I
The
have
Office,
watched
sorry.
through that before.
Do you have like a show of a group of humans
You just
that are
wanna
in
make this
relationship
metaphor
that's
work.
not friends that
Oh,
we can
that's
compare?
a group of
Yeah.
people. I love
Yeah.
New Girl. That
Okay,
one I like
okay.
watched when it was coming out.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
So it's very nostalgic. I love Schitt's Creek, but that's not really a friend group.
Oh yeah.
That's probably like
I like
top
Schitt's Creek,
3
too.
favorite shows of all time.
Which you never finished.
I've seen like 3 episodes. Or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah. You got to watch the first season.
Yeah, I hated it the first like 3 times I tried to watch it.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, but it's so good, you have to push through. And then I
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
and I have no regrets.
I intend on it, but my wife wants to watch it as well, so I'm gonna watch it with her.
Yeah.
That's
But we're like in the middle of
fair.
like 12 other shows, you know.
It's
So
so
kind
good.
of-
I was
like,
talking
it's
about
on the
this.
list.
I was talking about this weekend. Because it's so common to encounter somebody who like gave up on it. I would have given up on it. I just was like sick, and Wesley was force feeding me the show. But the characters in the beginning are all unredeemable. So
Yeah, I hated
it
everybody.
just doesn't inspire you to want to continue watching their journey. But that's the thing, is that it is ultimately like a redemption arc for all of them, but it's going to take a minute. You have to like
Yeah.
really dislike them for a while.
Yeah, they suck really bad pretty much
Yeah.
the whole first season.
So first you just have to like have the dark humor of being like, I love watching these people who suck so
Sure.
bad suck.
It's the
so
cringe. The
bad.
cringe level's real high.
Yeah.
It's real cringe, but they all become better.
Uh-huh.
See, yeah.
Then
I
you
mean, I
love
consider
them.
myself a professional TV watcher.
Okay, cool. Well, you should get on it 'cause it's top tier.
So I will watch that. That's been on my list, and I will get through it. There's only one show that I've ever tried to watch that I really want to watch that I can't.
Which
do.
one?
The Wire. The Wire. It's like a
I don't think I've
late '80s,
heard
early
of this.
'90s. It's if you look
Really?
if you just look up like best shows ever made, the top 3 are always Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and The Wire.
Whoa.
And it's always that way. And so, as someone who watches a lot of great TV shows, I gotta watch The Wire. I've tried like 10 times. I get like 3 episodes in, and I'm
Can't do
just like, can't. It's just so slow and realistic, and it's a cop
That's
show,
tough.
which I do like cop shows, but it's just slow and super gritty, and it's like I don't know. I don't understand why it's one of the best shows ever made. I need someone to explain it to me.
Need some answers there. I never heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
Maybe.
It's so big.
Maybe I am like I like shows for children basically that are like the least, well, I guess not children. Yeah. Content wise, I hate anything like graphic or remotely makes my heart race at all. Cause I like, I don't know why, but I will dream about it for a long time.
So you're like really into like Dora the Explorer, or
I
is like
love-
Swiper a little much?
Honestly, you know,
I'm just dreaming about the party house.
I just can't stop thinking about. I'm like so anxious about a burglar. Yeah, no. So I don't watch anything that's like remotely
Violent or
intense.
Yeah.
I watched The Hunger Games the other day because I like watched it in high school when it came out, and like read the first book at least.
Yeah.
And then I watched them the other day, and I was like, "This is so stressful." Literally, my heart was like pounding for 2 hours. I was like, "I'm a
Oh my
baby.
gosh.
I can't do this."
Well, Wesley, you as we were walking in the room, I think you heard part of this, but you probably didn't hear the first part because Wesley and I were like talking as we walked through the rooms. But he said that they did, was it the Met Gala, Wesley, this week? Like all the celebrities dressed like super wild, and people were
Yeah.
like, "This is like the Hunger Games. They look like the
Whoa.
Hunger Games."
They do, except less colorful.
And so that was when we were in the room, he was saying, I remember he said in front of you that like, there's like, oh, these people, they're all wearing black, they're coal or whatever. So like,
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know much more about that story, but I thought that was funny.
It's a fun movie, but it did stress me out.
The Met Gala
Oh yeah.
for the audio only listeners and the video
Whoa.
listeners. No one's seeing the screen. Somebody just looked kind of like a sequined cat.
Oh, it was Doja Cat. She wore a cat
Oh.
outfit.
Sure,
fully.
sure.
And she didn't
It's a
say any
little on the
words
nose.
except meow on the.
Sure, that sounds healthy.
It was kind of sick.
So, okay, every year at this thing, and other events as well, but you see pictures of people in these wild outfits. And maybe I just don't understand fashion,
True.
but
That's for sure true.
nobody's actually wearing those things outside of these events. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't understand. Nothing about it makes any sense. Like why would you do that? What's the benefit? What's the
Yeah.
allure of that? I don't know. I
I
just don't get
honestly
it.
don't know either because they're not. I feel like it's just like for the statement,
Right. It's so
like the
uncomfortable.
art moment of the event.
But it's almost like expected at this point. Is
Yeah.
it even artistic?
It'd be
Is it even
more
creative?
unique to like wear sweatpants, which I
Right.
feel like some people do. I feel
Right.
like didn't someone have? I don't know. I don't know anything about. I just see things on TikTok.
And then you see all these weird news stories for like 2 weeks about these outfits.
They're like mean
Especially if
stuff.
they're like, like really risque outfits. You'll hear about that for 2 months. I'm just like, I don't
Right.
care.
Yeah.
But you know who does care?
Apparently, a lot of people, if
A
they keep
lot
doing
of other
it.
people. Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
understand. I just don't know any of those people. Not the people in
Like,
there,
personally?
Met Gala, obviously. I just mean like I don't know who's like into that. You know?
Okay, yeah. I think it's fun, but I'm not into it. I do have like friends who are fashion people who know like names of things.
Right. They're like, who are you wearing?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, J. Crew.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know those names.
Which is a pretty
It is fun.
fashionable brand.
See, I told you I'm a fashion expert.
He's wearing a J. Crew shirt right now.
Hell yeah.
and
my
probably
God.
pants too.
We used to have the same shirt.
I have
And you
2.
didn't match today?
We have a lot of times
You know
Okay.
what's hilarious?
gone to the same
I
place. with the same shirt.
almost
Fun.
wore my Night Tide shirt.
Which does
my
look a
band
lot
is
like
called
this.
Night Tides, and we
Cool.
wear a shirt very similar to that, but with wider stripes. And I almost wore it today, but we only wear this shirt for like shows. And it just felt wrong. Like I put it on and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear it today. Whatever, I can do that. And I was like, no, it feels wrong. I shouldn't be doing
Gotta
that.
save it for the.
But we would have matched.
Wow.
Yeah,
That would have been cool.
But you have this. Did you get rid of it? You don't have it anymore?
I got rid of it.
I bought another one. I have two.
Wow.
I undergrew
You should
it.
give him one.
Committed. Nah.
Then y'all could match.
Yeah, I bought that shirt when I was fatter, basically. So
Fair enough.
I gave all of those clothes to a friend. I won't say who they are. But I see him. He'll show up wearing my old shirts, and I'm like, not you, but
you did not give me your clothes.
No, but he's like, it's funny. He has this one like yellow plaid. No,
Like checkered? I don't know. I'm trying to picture
what do we
what's
call
close to
that?
plaid.
Whatever. Let's call it plaid. But he has this yellow shirt I gave him, and I'll see it, and I'm like, that's a really nice looking shirt. I'm like, I like that shirt. I'm like, and I'm always like about to compliment on him, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I gave it to him.
Damn.
Brutal.
That's
But
funny.
The zoo. We talked about the
yeah.
zoo. So you'd mentioned before the show that like a lot of the songs you ended up writing out of your divorce. Is that just because that's what was going on? I assume.
Yes.
Is this your first EP? Had you put out other stuff? Do you have non-divorce related content?
Yes. And I will have more. I have been like thinking a lot about how I'm like, I don't want to be like the divorce girl forever. I want to have other stuff. But, and I had like, at first I really wasn't sure if I wanted to put this project out at this moment. Because I was like, I don't know. It feels like lame. And also like really scary to talk about what I'm going through like right now.
Right.
But I had some friends who were just like, I think you like these are really honest and vulnerable right now, and I think people will appreciate that. So I did decide obviously to do that.
This is your divorce era.
It is my divorce
when you
era.
do your eras tour, you'll have all
right.
the eras.
Everyone will be like, yeah. But yeah, no, it's not my first EP. I put one out in 2019, but it was like a completely different time. I don't really like those songs anymore.
Sure.
I was just like literally a different person. And also something that was complicated was that my producer was also my ex-husband. So that made things a little bit difficult. That's like how we met. And then, so yeah, I put that out. I put out a couple more songs in between them. But then, yeah, when I was getting divorced, I was like, well, now I don't have a producer. And
wow. So like, what a shift as an artist, because a producer is a big part of the process.
Right.
And affects the sound quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So one of the most important people involved. Just kidding. I'm a producer. You're looking at me like that.
And I meant it.
Yeah.
They're very
like,
important.
But you're like you're shifting out of, I don't like how I was about to say it. Like, you're shifting out of a marriage with this person, which is a huge defining factor for your life. But then also as an artist, you're shifting out of like them being an influence on your music. So it's going to be a big 180 the next thing you do, for sure.
Yeah. It was felt like I was like thrown into like, well, what do I do now? And I think it was for the best in every way. And I'm very grateful that everything happened the way that it did. But it was like, I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I started working with Michael, and it was really fun. But I don't remember why I started talking. Oh, yeah. But yeah, 2019 was when I put out all of my music with my ex producing it before this EP. So, well, actually, there were 3 songs that I released in the fall that Michael also did. And it was it's just been like really fun to have stuff that feels like more me than it's ever been. And yeah, Michael's amazing too, where he just like really cares about what the artist wants. And so he always made me feel very seen and like, I want to get behind what you're doing and like what you want for these songs. And that was really cool for me because this EP is obviously really vulnerable and like delicate. I felt like handing like a little baby to someone and being like, can you help me make this something? But yeah, I feel happy about it. The EP came out on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Also, Taylor Swift's first day in Nashville. It was a really celebratory day.
Oh, wow. It just like this one that a few days ago?
Yeah. I
Oh,
put
dang.
out a few singles in like February, March, April, and then the EP is all out now.
So this was like really good timing.
Yeah. It really worked out well. I didn't think about that at all.
It definitely was not intentional.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't intentional. But yeah.
Okay, that's super cool. Now, outside of music, do you have any other things that you're very into, like hobbies that you're super into? It's the weirder the better. Like, if you've heard anything real weird, now's the time.
Damn. I mean, I
Okay,
that's so scary.
That's so loud. You said as you.
I turned it down, so it wouldn't be that. It wasn't that loud to me.
All
I
right.
probably don't have much hearing left.
It was
Go
just
on.
a creepy laugh, but
Yeah.
that was fun.
From Thriller,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
makes
throw a
sense.
laugh.
This
Yeah.
checks out.
Yeah, we haven't pressed any sound effects during
I keep
this show. I don't know what we're
forgetting.
doing.
It's-
I'm like ready. I'm ready.
Okay, now
Feel
I'm
free.
thinking
You can
about
hit
it.
any of them at any point. You
Okay.
won't know what they are. Just trial and
Yeah,
error.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Hobbies. I like. Well, okay, I have a hobby that's very related to music at this moment, so works out well. But I have been very into crafts, like doing things that I did as a child and now as an adult, like
Like-
coloring books and
Okay.
what else?
Like macaroni pictures.
No, but that'd be really fun. I should do that. That's next on my list.
Glitter and glue.
Oh, yeah. What else did I do? I've
Did
done
you
some
ever
other things.
do make a picture with glue, wait for it to
Yes.
dry so it's upraised, and then put foil over it?
Wait, yeah. I
Yeah.
did. I forgot
Then
about
you
it.
like rub it down, and you're like, oh, it looks like a metal
Mm-hmm.
etching.
I thought you were going to say the one where you like put glitter on glue while it's
Yeah,
wet.
that's what I was going with it
you
too.
let it
yeah.
dry and then you dust it off. I want to do that too.
Yeah. There's a lot that can be done with Elmer's glue, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
God
many
bless Elmer.
options.
Taylor bless Elmer. Just kidding. I stole that from your wife. At the concert, she was TikTok
She said
streaming.
Taylor bless him.
And she was saying Taylor bless to the people watching. Oh, by the way, she had 200,000 people watch her live stream.
Yeah.
Previously,
Damn.
she had 300 followers on TikTok,
Oh,
but 200,000 people tuned into her live
Whoa.
stream from outside of the stadium, and she got like
Whoa.
900 new followers.
damn. Is she going to
So-
be
She
like
only massive.
So I could find her on TikTok and then I would really know her before meeting her.
Exactly. But if you apparently like artist hack, if you want to like grow your following, just
Stream
like,
Taylor Swift concerts.
follow
Stream
Taylor Swift around the country and
Swift.
stream them, and then
Damn.
like pivot.
Then you're like, actually,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, afterwards she asked me, she was like, should this just be like a Taylor Swift TikTok channel now? Like, should I just make
I
Taylor
mean,
Swift
if she's
content?
that into it, I feel
I-
like she should.
I told her, I was like, just do whatever you want. I don't
If
I
it's
don't care.
fun, then
Like,
she should do
whatever you
it.
want.
So crafts.
crafts.
And so what got you back into crafts?
My one of my best friends here named Abby is like
But not holiday.
not holiday.
Or the other one we talked about. This is a third Abby.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Abbeys in this town.
Apparently one of your hobbies is collecting Abbeys.
Yeah,
so.
I really love to collect Abbeys. She's like a very
You know who else collected Abby's? Taylor Swift, her best friend Abigail. Go on.
Oh my God.
You
Is
are
this podcast
Yeah.
about me being Taylor Swift's
Apparently.
This is the
baby?
big reveal.
Yeah. Silvie, Swifty,
Damn.
Abigail's.
That would be crazy to be her friend.
So
I could manifest it.
Abby was just like, let's craft.
Abby is like, she's very inspirational in the way that she like is so connected to her like childlikeness. And I was always like a very sad person. Like that was kind of my personality, was like I'm depressed and I write sad stuff. And I think divorce helped with that because it was like,
Sure. As you would think it would.
yeah, it makes everything less depressing. But I think it made me just be like, life is less like heavy than I always thought it was. I think I took everything so seriously and like everything I did was intense and had to have like a
deliberate.
symbolism and yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got divorced and I was like, oh, maybe nothing lasts forever in the way that I needed it to be okay. And I think through that, I also was just like, it's okay to be like lighthearted about life sometimes. And Abby is really good at that. And I feel like just being her friend. Also, like all the friends that I have at this point in my life are just like I feel like we're living the life of like middle schoolers, but as adults, so it's more fun because it's like
You can
we
stay out as
literally
late as
like
you want.
yeah, we like ride bikes every week, and sometimes like I live really close to some of my best friends, also like 2 minutes away. And the other night they just were like texted me and they're like, we're on a bike ride. Do you want to like, we're going to come pick you up on our bikes and we're going to ride to Jenny's. I was like, cool. And we went right. It just like feels very like kid-like in a fun way, like a healthy way. So that's kind of when I started being like, I can do crafts. That's fun. And I don't have to make everything so serious.
What do you do with the crafts afterwards? Or do you just have a house full of just
Okay. Where this
stuff?
started is I started doing resin, which is honestly,
Resin's cool.
it's like a difficult craft, I will say. There's a lot of like stirring, a lot of like very intense chemicals involved that I was doing in my house for a minute.
I don't think you're supposed to.
You're not supposed to. I was like, why do I keep getting like really bad headaches in my tiny ass apartment? So I started doing it more outside. But I've been making these little like trinket boxes that are like full of glitter and like beads, and they say Silvie rocks. Because another one of my hobbies is I love to collect rocks.
Okay.
Like I have a lot of them.
Like just like from like a trip or like
Yeah.
or like, fancy rocks.
Any rocks. People like will bring me rocks and be like, I found you this rock.
So if somebody goes to see you play, they should bring you rocks is what you're saying.
That'd be amazing.
You want to go home with just rocks every time.
Yeah. Moving with a rock collection, no one talks about because it's really tough. There's so many just like heavy boxes. They're like from all over though.
Okay.
They're like from trips. But I love rocks, so what I'm going to do for my merch is sell these little trinket boxes and put rocks inside that I collect.
Like your rocks?
No, I'm finding new ones. I was like gonna do mine,
Those
and I
like
was
your
like,
rocks.
I can't do that. Yeah, I couldn't part with any of them, which is probably unhealthy. But
You just have a house full of rocks and nothing to do with them.
I'm like, I'm not that old to have this many rocks. I gotta chill
Sure.
if I'm gonna last.
Yeah, you
for
gotta
a
be at
while.
least 60 to have that many rocks.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
sure
I'm
that's
gonna
how it
have to
works.
start trading them out somehow. But anyways, yeah.
Maybe the
crafts.
strategy is like trade 5 mediocre rocks
For like one really good rock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can slowly parse down to like only good rocks.
That's a good idea. Because I do have like a secret Instagram that is just my rock collection so I can keep track of them a little bit better.
Catalog.
Yeah, because I was like, how do I keep up with this? I'm not going to like print pictures because that's so much work. And I'm not going to just like, how else do you keep up with them besides like putting a sticker on them? I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, they labeled.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know what rock is what rock?
Right. So I just started taking
The
pictures
messed up
of
part in our
them.
world is that if you made that unprivate, that might be the thing that blows up.
I mean, it's not private. I'm just not saying the handle. So
Yeah.
only friends follow it. And I tell people from time to time.
Well, it's a private rock collection. Like, yeah,
It is, yeah. It
it's
is.
not for everyone.
And it's very like, I was like, I want an Instagram that's just like straight up old Instagram, like original, where there's like, it's all just like
You just post pictures.
snaps of my rocks. No editing. It's just like a rock. And then I say gift from so-and-so
You don't
or
put filters
found
on your
in
rocks?
so-and-so. No filters.
Not trying to advertise
Rocks, no filter.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right,
that,
which is all
that way I
Instagram's
can
for
look
now.
back. I know, yeah. So it's really fun. That's one of my hobbies that I'd say.
So
Okay,
you're
if you had
a
to
rock
ballpark it-
hound. That's the proper term.
Yeah, some might say.
To
a rock-
identify as a rock hound.
Yes, but I'm like really lazy about like researching. Like, so I don't know any of my rock names really. Like I don't know what they are.
You're
Like the scientific names.
gold one.
You know the
Yeah.
names that you gave them.
Right.
Do you name them like this is Lewis?
No. 'Cause
It would be
I
cute
would forget.
if they each had like a real like bland name. just,
Regular
like,
name.
Yeah.
Like Ted.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start naming the rocks.
So do you
I
like...
mean, however you want to pursue your rock hounding hobby.
Thank
but
you. Yeah.
do you know, like when you see a rock, do you know
that it's your rock.
that like where it's from? Like
Oh, in my house?
in your house. Like you pick it up and you're like, this is from when I went to Arizona and whatever.
That's a problem. This is why I had to do the Instagram because I was like, these are just rocks now. They mean nothing, but I know they meant something at one point. And That's why I did that. That's
Okay, I
why
need you to
did
ballpark,
Instagram.
like, how many rocks are we talking about here? In my head,
Probably
thousands.
Not
So-
thousands. It's hundreds.
Hundreds. That's still a lot.
But yeah, there's a lot.
Are like pebbles? Like big
All
rocks?
sizes.
Okay.
I have like a really massive one on my porch that's really cool. It's like crystally.
Where'd that one come from?
My ex's grandfather, who like passed away, but my ex's dad gave me this rock and was like, "You love rocks." And I was like, "That's so kind."
Yeah.
And so I did not give that up in the divorce.
That's fair.
Obviously. So that one's like the biggest, and then I have lots of like tiny ones. One thing I'm putting in my resin is like little bitty ones that I honestly ordered off of Amazon, but they're like this big. They're like tiny. And I'm putting them in the resin, and they look really cool.
So wait, how many?
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. I should count, but I couldn't.
Yep, that's me. You're probably
You love
wondering
this
how I
one.
ended up in this situation.
That's the perfect one for this moment. I am also wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So, okay. Sorry, I have so many rock questions.
I want to edit that effect to keep Bob O'Reilly going.
No, it
for
has
a
to cut
while.
off on the first note.
No, I
has
want it to go for a minute, and then we can turn it off if we want to. But there's going to be times that we just want to talk over Bob O'Reilly for like a while. Anyway,
That'd be fun.
Okay, so if we got hundreds of rocks all
Yes.
in your house.
Apartment also.
Apartment.
It's teensy.
All in your tiny apartment full of rocks and crafts.
Yes.
And hundreds. If you had to guess, now maybe this is something that's too hard to think about. How many pounds of rocks do you think you have?
The amount of like really big heavy ones that I have is not so many. I made a TikTok on Silvie that's about rocks, so I could show y'all if you want
You have like
at some point.
video of your rock
Yeah.
collection?
Wesley, can you just put it up on
Yeah,
the screen so we can
I'm
kind
like,
of like see it
you
in the
could
background?
see it on the
Yeah.
screen. It's a TikTok that I made about how I was gonna try to let some of them go. Like I was gonna release them back into the wild.
Sure. To live their best life. You know?
Right. But I didn't actually.
No, you
I was like, I didn't leave them there.
they're your rocks.
They were my rocks, but it was fun to do.
Do you have any like geodes?
Yeah. Another
those are
thing,
cool.
my ex's dad was like really kind and he would like always find me rocks. He
Hooking
also
you up with
found me
rocks.
this like geode that's like a full circle. It's not broken, but you can like,
Oh, it's
when you
not.
shake it, you can hear the little stuff inside.
Are you gonna break it open at some point?
I feel like I need a special tool.
You need a saw, like a I had a great aunt who she collected geodes.
That's
Don't you
so cool.
usually use a hammer?
You can, but it like
No, it breaks it. You
Yeah.
want to
Shapes.
cut exactly in half
Yeah.
so you can pull it apart.
Has the divorce been finalized?
yes.
Because it would have just been perfect to like break it on that day.
Damn, I did get divorced on 420, I will say.
Oh wow!
And that was really cool. I was like, it wasn't even on purpose. And it felt like meant to be.
Taylor,
What? How's that related?
How is Taylor
You're just
related to
trying to-
420?
if I had just said God, it would have made sense to people. Maybe
No.
no.
I'm not with
No,
you.
I'm not following.
You're not following? Okay.
I'm not following.
So you said it just worked out that way. Like, that's crazy. So people might be like, God? Like, did God do that?
Oh.
Sure. Okay.
I'm
sure.
following.
Yeah,
Sure.
like, did God make that happen?
Uh-huh.
And so I was saying, like, Taylor? Like, was she behind the 420 divorce? Anyway,
Yeah,
I
she
guess
made
I've
it
gotten
happen.
too sacrilegious at this point. For,
To where
like,
I'm
you
like-
guys aren't even willing to follow at this
No,
point. You're
I'll
like,
I can get behind Taylor being.
to the ends of the earth will you follow me?
So I just don't. So between all the rocks and the crafts, like you must have.
What do you
no
have time for
space.
music?
Honestly, never. Yeah, I don't have that much space. I basically sleep under rocks. They're under my pillows. No, I find places.
Wesley
you
can't find the
it.
video.
It's the
If you
first time
go
he
on,
hasn't been able to find something. We've asked him for it.
Silvie Music Instagram, and then to my reels, it's there like a little bit of a ways back, but not that far.
Will the not screenshot, but
Thumbnail?
the like the thumbnail? Will it be of a rock?
Yeah, it's rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Figured.
I'm watching, and I'm like,
It's just
But yeah.
it's so wild. See, this is why I like asking this, Ryan. This is why it's my favorite thing because you never know what you're gonna get.
that's it.
All right, we gotta see it, Wes.
I see these rocks.
Some
If
of
you're
them are cool.
if you're watching the episode, you also can't see this because the screen is not a part
But
of it.
what you can do is to go to your Instagram.
Follow Silvie Music, Silvie.music on Instagram.
And poke through the reels. Oh, those are substantial
big
rocks.
rocks.
Those are substantial. I
Aren't
was
they
thinking
cool?
like when you're like throw little. I was thinking little like
Some of
handheld.
them
Those
are
are
little.
not
Doesn't want to
handheld
play.
rocks.
That's okay. We can deal with the picture for now.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh my,
But
rocks.
that's some.
Bro, that big white one on the top is it flat?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you have a favorite rock?
Do you have like top rock?
Yeah, I have one that's blue. It's blue. I forgot what it's called. I could figure it out, but it's blue.
Do you have
Wesley, put that back on the screen. I wanted to read that comment. I felt like it was worthwhile. Brandon, someone says, rocks are friends too. People seem to forget, but this important video is sure to remind them.
Hell yeah, Brandon. Yeah, people.
That was
it was fun to find my fellow rock lovers
Mm.
out in the world through that reel.
Now, have you ever done rock? What do we call it? Tumbling?
No,
Really?
it seems really loud, and it also takes like 3 days. And
Oh.
sometimes longer. Like you have to leave it running for like a really long
But you
time.
just put it in and hit a button, and then
And then there's the sound of
But you don't
rocks
wanna hear
tumbling for like
an apartment.
a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe not ideal.
Maybe
You'd
one
be
day,
a
though.
terrible apartment neighbor.
Yeah. I
I
would
kn-
feel kind of bad.
I know I did it as a kid, which means I must have had a rock tumbler. I don't know
Damn.
where it is. I don't
Look at you with
remember
a rock tumbler.
losing
dig
the
it
rock
out.
tumbler. Yeah, I think I like. By the way, I should say I liked rocks too,
Hell yeah.
but I guess I don't feel like comfortable. You know how like people who just like play guitar when they get around like people pursuing music, they're like, well, I'll just like.
Yeah,
I
that's
am,
what I do. I
am
always tell
that
people.
about rocks, though. I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like them.
Yeah, I had a rock tumbler when I was a kid, and I tumbled some rocks and made them all smooth. And I think it
That's
just
cool.
happened one time, which means a rock tumbler sat in a room for a while, and then parents must
Well, maybe
have
you
sold
did
it
it
at
somewhere.
a garage sale.
Because I remember they at 6th grade camp, they had you could like pick a craft. Everyone had like pick a craft. They did all week.
I remember that at sixth grade
And
camp.
some
You go to
people-
Fox?
No, I made like a little
Cuyamaca.
Cuyamaca's where I went. Yeah.
Me too.
And it was a like the one that I did was like a little like mini forest that you make. You build.
Whoa.
Oh, a
You know,
little
you,
terrarium.
Yeah, you have to go.
No,
You have to go out in
no.
nature and find all
Yeah.
the pieces, and you make like a little mini forest. But
wanna do that.
another one was, I didn't do it. So I don't remember all the details, but I know you had to polish rock because there was these
Cool.
kids walking around just sanding these rocks all week
Probably
to make them shiny.
quartz.
That's fun.
Now, I polished manzanita wood. Do you know what manzanita wood is?
That's a California wood or a West Coast wood for sure.
Yeah, it's a it's like a little bush. It's kind of like a low growing bush, but it has like actually like
I
kind
think
of
it's
a wood to it.
technically a
Cool.
tree, but it looks like a bush.
Maybe, yeah.
It's
And
red.
it's a red wood, and so we would take manzanita and polish it until it was like super, super smooth. And I don't think you put resin on it, but you did put some sort of polish on it.
Like a
Yeah, that's what
That's
finish.
manzanita looks like.
manzanita.
Whoa,
It's a really
okay.
cool looking, and
Really
it's
I do know
red
what that is.
wood.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
yeah, it's all over the place. out
I
in, like,
could bet that they
California.
have that in Texas too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, similar climates, I guess.
Surely.
But that was my sixth grade camp craft, and I'll bet no one
I
there
love
thought
that.
that would stick with me, but it did.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like, why do I remember
did
this?
you guys have sixth grade camp in Texas?
Yeah. I went to a lot of camps. I went to mostly church camps.
Oh yeah, we
But
grew up
sixth
going
grade
to
camp,
camps.
like we went to church camps
Oh,
too.
you
But
had, like-
sixth grade camp is like your school
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah,
No.
I
Public
don't think it
Wait.
exists
school
anymore.
takes you to
Ryan.
a camp.
It
I
was
also
a big
didn't go
tradition for like decades, I think, and I think it ended like I don't know, probably right after us.
Really?
Wow.
Did you guys have eighth grade Washington D.C. trip?
No, I went
I
to
didn't go
not
there.
a public school. I went to like a private school for
Oh.
most. I went off and on, but
Yes, that's
yeah, for
different.
sixth grade, we went to NASA. That was pretty sick.
That's pretty cool. I guess it's right
That
down
is
the
cool.
road.
We didn't get to
Yeah,
go
it
to
was like
NASA.
4 hours away, so it was fun. In, like
That's nice.
Galveston.
Now, we went. What did we? We went to something that was kind of like space camp, but it wasn't space camp. But it was
Nerd.
set up to look like a NASA rocket launch, and they had like a fake rocket launch that kids could do,
Whoa.
where you're like, you guys are mission control, and you guys are in the shuttle, and you guys are this, and you're like supposed to do a thing.
You do that at
that-
Disney World.
Huh.
Have you?
It's probably a
I don't know
lot
if you're
better
a Disney
than
Park
this.
fan or not.
I have been and I liked it,
So
but I was
World?
12.
Oh, you haven't been as an adult?
No, I want to
Wow.
go back because I
So
was
much
like
better.
a grumpy ass 12-year-old, so I don't remember it except that I was like scowling
That's when you had those sad
for
girl
a
vibes
full
still.
week. Yeah, and I was like, I hate my life. I'm here with my family, and they're not cool. So I went
World
back.
or land?
Both. I've been to land as an adult, but World, I was a kid.
Yeah. Land's way better. So you went to the
Oh, really?
Oh, so much better.
I don't know enough about it. I just like, I really like Space Mountain. That's all I remember is that I
Space
really
Mountain was
liked
dope.
being in the dark on a roller coaster.
Sounds right. Sounds like it fit your vibe at the time.
It was really fun.
Rocks in your pocket.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm closer to the universe.
But no, at Epcot in Disney World, they have a ride that's supposed to simulate a launch, like a rocket launch.
Whoa.
And like there's 4 people in it, and everybody has like a job. Like one person's like a navigator.
No, that scared me.
But in reality, like nothing you do matters.
Right, but that
'cause
still
it's
freaked me
Disneyland.
out.
But then it spins. You can't tell it's spinning, but it spins to like simulate the G-force and I have never felt more sick from a ride. Like I'll go on any ride. I love rides. You can flip me around, whatever. I love it. After that, I was like never again. Like my wife was like wrecked for hours. Like
would
we didn't go on
fuck me
another ride
up.
forever. It just feels so intense, and it's supposed to be like ultra realistic, so the same level of G-force.
Whoa.
Anyways, you got to
I
try it if you
couldn't
go
do that.
because you just gotta.
I'm
But-
like, I get so motion sick.
oh yeah, you would
I
not.
couldn't do
You
it.
wouldn't like it.
I like went on
all.
one of those spinny things once,
At
you
the
know, where
fair?
it's like, like a swing and it gets further away from the middle and you're just going faster and
Oh,
faster.
then like it goes like upside down. That one.
No, it's just like, it's like kid swings, but you go in a circle and then it gets faster. So the swings like fly up a little bit more.
Yeah. I know the swing ride.
And I felt so bad for like 2 days.
So you really get motion sick.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
really
that's
bad.
that's like fairly tame.
Yeah, I can't do circles of any kind. That's why I like Space Mountain. It's not too, it's not too high. I don't like going too high.
When you see Space Mountain, if you ever get a chance to see it, I mean, you could look it up, but with the lights on,
Yeah, I would look.
it looks real rickety.
scary.
It's way scarier than lights off.
Yikes! I never
like,
want to see that. I want to
"Oh."
live in my little fantasy
Yeah.
that it's like very safe.
It'd be wild
but
with
it's
the
the
lights.
best ride it
It'd
is,
be
really.
wild to ride it with the lights on because you would realize you're inside a building.
Well, your sister, my wife, did that because she used to work at Disneyland. I have to say it every time.
Do you say it every time?
Every time on the podcast,
It's
at
really
least.
funny
It's practically a bit at this point.
because you
Like,
can't say my wife because then it feels like weird to be like my wife.
Right.
Also, your
your sister, my wife.
He has to clarify the relationship.
That's funny.
And it's great especially when like the guests don't know, and
If
they'll be
they're
like,
like-
"Wait, what?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
But she used to work at Disneyland,
Okay.
and she worked there, and all the employees got to ride with the lights on.
This podcast would get really awkward if you had a divorce. My ex,
Might
his
have
sister.
to cancel.
No, that's the problem. We're so ingratiated at this
Yeah,
point.
I was friends
think
with him
it's a-
before I knew her.
It's a real
Damn.
thing. I will say I think about this sometimes. I'm like, if they got divorced, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, who
Because
would you
You'd
be?
have to choose me. All right, let's be real.
Your like work partner or your sister.
It's either Churi or Corinne in this. That was very loud.
Yeah, I was like, maybe, I don't know if it's my headphones just so loud.
You know, we should turn the volume down for the sound effects. It needs to be that loud for the intro music, but we
Yeah.
can turn it down.
Yeah.
Or I could just make the intro music louder. Maybe I should do that. Anyway,
Side thoughts.
but it is nice that the effects so dramatically interrupt everything. So
Yeah, it's
you know.
funny. Very intense.
But yeah, you're right. It
we
would
would.
be weird.
We're
We're not getting divorced.
If I had to sit down with my sister, your wife,
I think we would rather kill each other than get divorced. Like, well, if it goes bad, one of us will just be dead.
you are on
Okay,
that
yeah,
track.
that's like
Yeah.
the. No, you just said that.
On that track.
Out loud.
To murder.
No, I see it. I see
On a
it. I see
recording
it.
Great.
and
Yeah, I
It's
see it.
awesome.
I see it. I would have to talk with my sister and be like, look, I'm still gonna be friends with Jury though.
yeah,
She's like, he's my ex. You have to hate him now. And I'd be like, we have a podcast.
yeah.
Like,
what are
I'm
you
sorry.
supposed to do? That would be really interesting for content.
It's
Yeah.
a good thing she doesn't listen to these anymore.
Yeah, that's
I operate with that freedom.
yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, I assume no one I know is going to like listen to these whole episodes.
Problem
Fair.
is,
The problem is that I found out my younger brother listens to every single
That's
one.
sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's great. I'm glad he listens to it.
Yeah.
But also, I was like, oh my god, I probably said some shit that like I don't want my family to know. You know what I mean?
Let out some secrets.
And if we don't post an episode, he texts me and he's like, "Where's the episode this
he
week?"
knows. Whoa.
Which is great. I love it.
Yeah, that's
But
very sweet.
But yeah, like when I found out he listened and he made my dad listen to one, I was like, oh no.
You're like, no, these are not for you.
yeah, like these are. Yeah.
I do think about that. To segue back into me.
oh
That
my
feels
god,
Like so
who did we? I really want to. I just want to
Really?
say.
No, I'm like,
she
that
just
was
was
a
trying to
joke.
I know.
segue.
I just
I
want
was
to
being
say.
an asshole on purpose.
No, it was
No, I love it.
hilarious.
It's hilarious.
You did a great job. We had somebody one time who was like, "Oh, but I liked him overall."
I liked
he'll
him.
never listen, but I liked him overall. He was a great guy. But he did have a moment like when we were doing our like
we get
brothers
we
last
get
week.
you see how we get.
We talk. Yeah.
You're besties. You gotta.
Yeah. He had a moment where he was like, guys, you have a guest here. And I was like, oh, the fuck?
Well, the thing is, the first time he said that, it was funny. But then he said it like 3 more times.
Yeah, no.
It was like a little weird.
Yeah, I would be. That's it.
But
yeah.
anyway,
But that
you
being
did it in a
said,
funny way. Go on.
absolutely.
This
Yeah, it was
genuinely
hilarious.
does relate though, because
Mm-hmm.
putting out songs, this relates to the next song I will play, which talks about extremely things I would never talk about with my family that I am sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just putting it all out there so that my like
Isn't that
younger
wild?
siblings are like listening to the details of my marriage, which
Weird.
is
That's a little right. That's a little uncomfortable.
yeah.
Now, is your
weird.
family the kind of family who's like, we support what you do,
Yes.
but do they support what you do and are super like listening to everything, watch every video? Oh, they're
Honestly,
so they
yeah.
are.
I love my family. They're I'm like the oldest of 7 kids, and so, which is crazy to have that many siblings. But
That's a lot. 7?
yeah, but they're all like really. I'm like I love all of them, and I feel
Where do you
like
fall in the age rank?
the oldest.
You're the oldest.
So my youngest sister's like 13,
Oh wow.
which is really interesting to be like, whoa,
Yeah.
she's like a different generation than me.
That's wild.
But and she's listening to these like songs about my marriage, so that's funny too. But they're all really supportive, and like my parents are like I love both of them, and I talk to them a lot. They're very supportive. They're all very very glad I got divorced.
Were
so
they not
that's
a
great.
fan?
They yeah, after the fact. Well, okay, so yeah, the context, which is kind of clear in the zoo, is like that he cheated on me a lot and like lied a lot, and that makes marriage a little bit difficult.
True.
After a while, where you're like, okay, I was honestly, I mean, I grew up really religious, so like divorce, like that was like not an option, you know. I was like, my parents never talked about that. They were like, we don't get divorced, but I was actually the one after, you know, my husband kept cheating on me, who I was like, I want to stay. And they were like, McKenna. Like their opinions about divorce fully
Sorry, who's
changed.
McKenna?
Shifted.
I don't know who McKenna is.
I don't know
They
who
were
that
like,
is, yeah.
Silvie. But yeah, they were very supportive of me. Because I don't know. I mean, they were watching me like get hurt over and over again. I think it's easier
Yeah.
to be the one being hurt sometimes than being the one
And also the
watching
idea
someone.
of something is different than the reality a lot
Right.
of times.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, the way I grew up, it was like you have all these ideas about like divorce or like judging different things, and it's like you actually have no idea what the context is or like what people are going through, and it always felt very like, oh, I don't know anyone who's gotten divorced. Maybe that's why I like have all these prejudgments about it.
But also, even coming from like a religious place, I assume Christian. You talk about church camps. I'm like, this all
Yeah.
sounds familiar to me. Isn't
It's
there?
actually
There's
a
a
Buddhist
caveat.
church camp.
There's
You racist.
isn't there a caveat in the Bible about infidelity though with divorce?
Yeah. And yeah, I really, was so.
So you're still on the up and up with the religious
I
rules.
did technically, yeah. If I were still living by those rules, I would be in the clear. But
But like,
Yeah.
we don't give a fuck. So
yeah, at this point, you know, that's not really part of my current life.
okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
my parents, they're cool.
I have also my parents are divorced, and so I
My
like
parents never got married.
You know,
so like on the opposite tip, like when you said like not knowing a lot of people divorced, I'm like everybody's divorced,
yeah,
but like I definitely grew up with the idea that you should not get divorced, and so
Right.
I've been like very slow. I'm still not married, so like I've been very slow to get married because
Not
I'm
by
like,
choice though.
when I get
she
married,
just keeps saying no.
have a nice day. But I'm like, I do not want to like ever get divorced.
Right.
However, my thinking has changed watching
You're
friends
not even married
get
yet.
divorced.
You're already thinking about it. Like Jesus.
Not for me. I don't want it to happen, but I have witnessed that there are situations I've had a few friends where, like, I was always like a very like with friends when they're going through issues of a variety of kinds, been like, stick it out, try to make it work. But I have been pushed to my breaking point with some of our friends where I'm like, oh, there's a time and a place to get divorced. And sometimes it's a lot better.
Right.
Overall, I don't like divorce. I hope it never happens to me.
Really unpleasant.
I don't want to be a part of it.
really
No
hard.
one's trying for that. Like, you know, my girlfriend will never listen to this, but like, divorce is not an option, baby.
For you, never.
But at the same time, there's a time and a place where like everybody's going to be way better off.
Yeah.
If it happens. And I think it's really awesome that your family supported you in that. I've had that. I have one of the clients I work with. Like, there's somebody in the band, a girl. I'm like, wait, how vague should I be? Anyway, there's a female that I work with who went through a divorce, and it was very dramatic and in a religious context. And I think their family was given the choice of like, do you support are you going to support
Or not.
her, or are you going to follow some rules about this with that the community wants?
Right.
Anyway, trying to be
You're
vague.
vague. You're being vague enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I think it's really cool that your family supported you on that.
I agree. I feel very lucky to have everybody in my life was very much like, do what you need to do. And honestly, everyone like supported me through all of it, where they were like, we are here for you no matter what you choose. And yeah, that's been really, really nice. I don't know what I would be like if I hadn't had those people around me when I was going through all that, because I can't imagine having people who weren't like there for me. That would really suck.
Yeah.
Or who were like against something. It's
Ugh.
just, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at this point, having been through it. And I think true, I don't know. Life doesn't have to be as serious as I always thought it is,
But
and it's
also-
okay that things happen
Now,
the way they
I
do.
noticed your knuckle tattoos say "ha ha."
Yeah.
Is that connected to this idea for you?
Yes, actually, I got these knuckle tattoos like a couple weeks ago on the divorce of my anniversary. On the anniversary of my divorce, which is 4/20. And I had been talking about this for a minute, but it kind of is like, I told my dad about it, and he doesn't really like tattoos or any of mine. And I was like, yeah,
He's
I
like,
got
divorce
a
is fine, but tattoos absolutely
no.
not.
He just like, I can tell, I'm like, I got this. And he's like, oh, like he never says anything. But I told him about this one, and he was like, yeah, I don't love that. And then I was like, well, what if I made it have meaning? And I told him, I was like, life is like really can be lighthearted, and it doesn't have to be like heavy all the time, and that's okay.
Doesn't like the Joker have that same thing? Or something?
Like, does he? That'd be crazy.
Wesley, does the Joker have a ha ha knuckle tattoo?
Specifically the from Suicide Squad.
I'm unfamiliar.
The Suicide Squad version of the Joker.
Yeah, played by what's his face?
Well, earlier
the guy in the
you-
band.
Cool.
Earlier, you had your first finger,
Jared Leto.
like down or at some angle where I couldn't read it. So your tattoo said "aha," as
Aha.
in the '80s band that does "Take on Me."
Or just like having a great
Whoa.
idea.
Yeah.
I also was like, I did get it on my
Wow.
left hand where now I
I
can't.
was close.
Oh, whoa!
Oh my god.
The Joker has a hand "ha-ha" tattoo.
That's kind of sick.
It actually looks kind of badass, too.
Yeah. And the smile.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't pulling that out of thin air.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Wow. That's
But I remember, yeah, when I walked in and I saw that, that's the first thing I thought. I was like Joker.
Damn. I've never seen that because it's scary.
That's to be fair, that movie's trash.
Okay, fair. Great. Perfect.
But it's probably about time we should probably play a second song.
yeah. So you were starting to talk about it there.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm mid vape and it's burning my throat because I'm trying to talk now. Okay, so wait, what was the song called again that you're about to play?
Yes. It's called High School Football. And yeah, it's one that it has a lot of details that are highly visual that I talk about. And yeah, do you want me to talk about what it is about
Yeah,
before?
we might as well.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a song that is kind of trying to capture like the nostalgia you feel when you have like a good memory of something, but you don't want to like be there again or do that again. And there's like the line in the first chorus or whatever is like, I miss you the way I miss high school football games. And I'm like, I loved going to football games in high school. It was very like Texas activity on the weekends. That's just
Yeah,
like
it's
all my
very
brothers
Texas.
played football, and it was just like what everyone did, and it was really fun and very nostalgic. But I'm like, I don't want to be in high school again or
Right.
do that. But sometimes I'm like, I wish I could just feel that for like 5 minutes and be, 16 with like all my friends in the dark with the lights
You have like
and
no
everything.
responsibilities.
Yeah, I think like it's a song about like missing the like innocence and naivety.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Naivete.
Nailed it.
I don't know how you say that word, but
Naivete.
yeah, that feels wrong. But yeah, I'm like, I miss that sometimes. I don't want to be where I used to be again, but I wish I could feel those feelings for a little bit and like
Yeah.
be there for a second. So that's kind of what it's about.
Can't fall asleep 'cause I'm thinking about the way you used to hold me, melt into your body, my head underneath your chin. Loved how you'd say I fit perfectly there like a key to your heart. I don't wanna be with you, it's hard to explain, but I miss you the way I miss high school football games. Like I loved when it happened, not a thing I would change. I don't wanna go back, but I wish I could capture the feeling. Pull your gray hairs, you lean back, say you're getting old. Laugh on the shower floor, fast food 'cause we were bored. Eyes meet across the room, let's leave this party. Tried sex in the car and I ended up crying 'cause it didn't feel like it did when we were younger. Kept telling my brain to remember the hunger, your breath in my ear and the lightning outside. I don't wanna go back, but wish I could taste that one more time. Wish I could taste that one more time. It's so stupid, but I like to feel like you were mine. And I know I don't want you back, really I don't. But I can't help but ache for it when I'm alone. And I haven't been held like that since you've been gone. And it's not the kind of thing you just stumble on. No, it's not the kind of thing you just stumble on.
Welcome back to Music Row Hideout.
And we're back.
Are we?
We are now.
Oh, okay. Here we are.
And we're back. There you go.
All right, American, not American football.
High school.
American
High school
football's
football.
fun.
Yeah, it reminded me of American football, the band. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
high school.
speaking of American football,
Okay. Here we go.
speaking of
Tangent.
European football
Oh,
and American football, I've been watching Ted Lasso, which is phenomenal. A new episode comes out tonight. Very excited.
oh. I
But no,
watched-
tomorrow. I lied. Tomorrow
Wednesday,
night.
yeah,
Wednesdays.
yeah, yeah.
Wednesday. And he's just trying to pick out a sound effect.
For Ted.
And I have found myself when like talking about it with my wife, like as we're watching
60%
it.
of it. You have balls. I like balls.
That works pretty well.
Yeah.
That works pretty well.
Yeah.
I have a very limited palate here.
Love this.
I found like myself saying soccer and then correcting myself.
Damn, you're a real European
And
now.
I thought, that's dumb. Like, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, no one here
one's here
cares.
but me and my wife. I don't care about any of
Sorry,
these
babe.
sports. Like, no one cares. Why am I doing this?
That's funny.
Sorry, babe. Football.
Yeah, I'm in American football. and soccer. All right.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I'm talking
That
about
sounds
the
super weird.
football that's American football and high school football.
Yeah. Why did we do that?
I don't know. It seems like just one of the many like assholey things that America did.
Yeah.
Now, was it already called football?
So, I mean,
When we
think
named it
soccer,
football,
already
was there
existed.
already were they already calling it
Surely.
football?
100%.
Did we know?
Surely we came
Maybe
from
we
them.
didn't know.
We came from Britain.
Did they were doing it back then in the 1700s from Britain?
They must have, but my question is, where did the word soccer come from?
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's just a random word.
It feels like it should be OR, or I think
Succor.
the ER always threw me off as a
Soccer.
kid. Yeah, I don't. It's not a fun word.
It's not a fun word. And more of our words should be more fun. Like window. That's a fun word.
Whoa! I never thought as a window as a fun word.
Window. You know?
Window.
It's got like, whoo!
Yeah, you feel
Fun
lighter.
word.
You know,
Soccer. You know what I mean? It's just not the same.
it's not the same.
Is this a prepared bit?
No, it's just how my brain
That's
works.
good that window just came to you.
Yeah. Now it's going to be prepared bit, Ryan. I'm going to be repeating this for the next 10 years as I do. But
Did you play any sports growing up?
No. Well, no.
No. Well,
is there something
no.
you could kind of consider a sport that you're like
But
debating on?
no.
What's the
I ran track in high school because I had to. I am like what some might describe as a stereotypical like musician who's super bad at sports. Like anything with like anything flying towards my face, I'm
Sure.
gonna duck or
Sure.
run away. I played soccer in 3rd grade,
That
and
counts.
I don't remember this, but
You mean
people tell
football?
me I played football in 3rd grade, and I would like pick flowers on the field. That was like my vibe, and then get in trouble for that. But yeah, no. Then I ran track. I was very like involved though with football games. Like I was a water girl in high school, and it felt very special.
Oh wow! Have you seen the movie Waterboy?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen Waterboy?
No,
Wait.
I'm missing a lot of
How old are you?
25.
Okay. So we got 10 years on you.
Yeah.
We're both 35.
Okay, this makes
So
sense.
that might make sense why she's never seen Waterboy.
I also just like haven't seen things. I feel like I my childhood lacked culture, so I
Yeah.
feel like I missed things.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
fine.
Waterboy is a movie that I
an
don't know
Adam
if
Sandler
it's,
movie.
I'd have no idea if it stands up anymore.
it does.
But it.
Back when Adam Sandler was really funny.
Okay,
But if you were a water girl, it's a movie called Waterboy. Think
great.
about it.
I should watch
You
it.
should watch
Yeah.
it. It's funny.
Is it about being a water boy?
It is.
Kinda?
Yeah.
I mean, it is about him being a water boy.
Maybe I have
Yeah.
seen this.
But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Weird.
Worthwhile.
Okay,
I haven't
well,
thought about that movie in a
Sorta.
long time.
good old
No one
Adam
has,
Sandler.
but yeah.
I actually, I have a sports theory / question.
Okay.
And I've said this before to other people, never on the show, I don't think. For decades. Years, I don't know, a while. I've had this line of thinking.
Window.
But like okay, so football is a sport. Baseball is a sport.
Right.
Chess is a sport. Ping pong is a sport.
Yeah. What is a
Track.
sport?
So I have a definition that I've made up.
Okay.
No,
Love
I've
to
not
know.
found one person who agrees with me ever, and I don't think it's open. I think it makes perfectly logical sense, which is there are 3 things. There's games, sports, and athletic events.
Okay. And they don't overlap. It's not
nothing
like a
else.
Venn
Some overlap.
diagram.
A sport is an athletic event that is also a game.
Whoa. Okay.
And
I feel like
okay.
I need like a whiteboard. I
Yes,
feel
we
like
do.
You need to be drawing.
We need Charlie Day.
And a game is a non-physical based, like athletic based competition.
chess.
Chess, that's a game.
Right.
This is a Venn diagram.
Right. It's a Venn diagram, exactly. And the athletic event is, well, it's an athletic event. It's not a game. That's where I
so
put like
you would put track as an
athletic
athletic
event. It's not a
event.
game, so it's not a sport in my
Oh, I like this.
I do too, actually. I think that you
Fuck
should
yeah.
make
When
it
you
happen.
open
I'm writing a book.
What's funny is when you opened with "No one's ever agreed," I really wanted to be one of those people.
Well, every time I say
really
that to
wanted
people,
not
Didn't
agree.
agree.
and I say
Yeah.
things like, well, track I don't consider a sport. It's an athletic event. They're like, no, it's a sport. And I'm like,
But it's
all
like
right.
not.
But it's not. It's not.
There's not like a team. There can be, I guess, but it's not like it's not a
But
sport.
you're competing.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
competition, but is it a
So maybe
game?
you could call it rather than
doesn't
event,
sound like
because event means people have gathered to watch it, right? People have gathered for
sure,
this thing,
yeah.
event
Okay. Oh, plan.
at a specific moment.
Okay.
But what if you just call it an athletic competition?
Sure.
It is a
athletic
competition and it's
Yeah.
athletic,
Yeah.
whether there are people there or not.
Then you have to get into what defines what a game is, which is a lot harder.
It has rules and people play
Rules and points
to try to win.
maybe?
It's a competition that has
Yeah.
a bunch of rules.
But I mean, like track has a bunch of rules.
Yeah, it does. And it's not a
So that's not.
Game.
But it's not a game. But why
Also, like,
isn't it? What's that distinction?
dance is like really athletic.
Right, but it's not a game.
It's not a game.
But it's an athletic competition.
It is an athletic competition.
But it doesn't have to be a competition.
Yeah,
it
it is
could
more
just
of
be an
an
athletic event.
but then it's like ping pong. Is that athletic enough?
I don't know. I'm not a big ping ponger. I'm really bad at that.
I consider myself good at ping pong.
Okay.
I haven't played in 10 years though,
Okay.
and I think it's a game. I don't know. I don't think it's a sport.
What about pool?
Yeah, like pool's definitely more of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, than
There's
a
like
sport.
0.
You're not running. Like in ping pong, you're running.
Yeah.
If you're a pro,
Some
if
cardio.
I'm playing, I'm not running. I'm just
No.
If I have to run for that ball, it's hitting the ground.
This is why I hate sports. I'm like, don't make me do something.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to move that much.
yeah. Like I want
Just
to.
like,
Can I just do it like right here?
yeah, let me stay in one place.
Yeah, I'm more of a game
Yeah.
person. I'll play chess.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll sit there and move something. But
But
I
what's
don't-
funny is like you're saying you like games, but you did track, which means you did an athletic competition.
I
And if
did.
you put those two together, it's a sport.
Yeah. I hated it, and I was so bad at it. It was really funny. I was so slow, but
So
was-
slow. That's
Yeah.
the one thing you want to not be.
I was so. It
There's
was like
one requirement.
my
Be
whole
fast.
family like makes fun of me for it, and I think it's funny. Like my mom is like, "Remember when you tried to do long jump?" Because I did try to do that, and it was so funny. I wish I had video of me trying
Was
to
it
long
like a-
jump because
was
I
it a
think I
short
did
jump?
like 1 foot or something. I don't remember.
Weirdly, track and field was like highly influential in my life. Let me tell you how. I've never thought of it this way. Okay. Back in middle school, they announced one day flag football. You can sign up and do flag football. And I remember, like, I was never into football, but I was young enough that, like, I could have been into football. And I was like, this is exciting. I want to do that. And there was, like, a bunch of guys that, you know, my class, whatever, want to do it. I was like, I'm going to do flag football. But then my, like, truest friends, my closest friends, decided they were going to do track. And I was like, and you had to do one or the other. And I was like, so I went with my closest friends and we did track. None of us stuck with track. We did it like one time.
Yeah.
We just ran around the neighborhood is all it was.
Yeah, you're just running, which is the thing I don't want to do the most.
Yeah.
Like if you see me running, you should also be running.
Okay.
Like I'm getting chased. Like something's coming.
Damn. Honestly, at this point, same. I'm like, I've run when I was really mad recently, which was really funny.
Right. Just
I was like,
just
I've
anger running.
never been
get it
this
out.
angry at someone that I had to go on a run,
Oh my gosh.
but I did. I was seething. But other than that, no.
See, I played golf in high school,
Okay, hell yeah.
which would say is a sport. It is a game.
Yeah.
And you have to carry an 80-pound bag and walk
I guess
for miles.
okay, it's athletic.
Okay. Yeah.
And
It's-
swing
it's
something at
not-
like 150 miles an hour.
It's
Every
not
fast club
like
swing.
you know,
It's
like
not-
it's not like a workout athletic.
That's actually why
but
I came up with this, because somebody told me golf wasn't a sport, and I was like, well, let's break it down.
It is very
all
athletic.
started
It
with
requires
golf.
your body to do some like special movements that are hard.
Yeah, golf's totally a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of walking. I never done it, but
Yeah,
looks hard.
I haven't done it in a long time.
But if I
Wesley's
haven't
great at golf,
joined-
better
if-
than me, probably.
If I
Guaranteed,
hadn't
in
joined
fact.
track and I had done football, maybe I would have become the kind of guy who likes football.
I almost did football too.
Would I do music if I was the kind of guy who likes football? No.
No,
Because you're
no.
one or the other.
Or you're a country artist.
True.
that is so true. That is the one overlap.
Yeah.
Which brings us to, how did you get into music in the first place?
Whoa.
Did you always identify as like a music person? Is it a newer thing for you? Is it a high school thing?
I have always liked music. When I was a kid, I would, I wasn't writing songs, but I'd make little ditties.
Sure.
I also was like, I was thinking about this today. I was obsessed with poetry from a really young age.
Really?
In a funny way. And I think I've just always liked like language and like words. I would lay in my bed at night though and read Dr. Seuss books really loudly for hours. And I think
Couldn't
about
read in
that.
your head.
Yeah, I was like, I just would read them for such a long time. My mom would get annoyed because she's like, dude, you're being so loud. But I just thought it was fun. I liked the sound of it. And so then in middle school, I started like writing songs more that are so bad, but they're really, I had to start somewhere. And then high school, still writing. But I always was like, oh, I don't want to do music. That's not what I wanted. I was like terrified.
What did you want to do?
Oh, I wanted to be like a teacher for a while. And then I was like, wait, I like kids. I don't like them that much.
Right. I don't like 30 of them.
Yeah. And I wanted to do that. I literally just like wanted to, I was in such a different place as a person. I was very much in that like, I want to get married. I want to like have a family and be a teacher and do music on the side as a hobby. But like,
I feel like your Christian upbringing is showing.
yeah, that's kind of what drove my whole. Also, yeah, I was just like, oh, I can't put out music that's not like worship music. But then in high school, I started writing songs that were not like Christian.
You decided you wanted to write good music.
Yeah, some might say. But yeah, and then, but I was still like, I don't want to perform. I've always had like extreme performance anxiety. So I was like,
Still
I would
now?
never. It's gotten better lately from doing it more. But I was like, no, I'd never be a singer. And then, what are you gonna say?
I don't know. I don't know if this is a tangent worth pursuing. However, just based on one thing you said. When she was, so when she was talking about like growing up and like getting married and having family, all those things, and you were like, your Christian upbringing is showing. Very funny. Totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it was hilarious, obviously.
We all loved it.
I'm a hilarious person. You should laugh when I
Right,
say
right.
things.
We did laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very
It was amazing.
funny. It made sense.
Everybody loved it.
However, here's the thing. As somebody who has dated many Christian girls that are not super pumped about getting married and having a family, I feel like I wonder, maybe it's not Christian upbringing, because I think there's like, I don't know, you can speak more because you're a girl. I feel like there's some girls that are naturally, as they grow up, like, I want to have a family, I want to get married, like that is heavily on their mind. And I think there's other girls that's not on their mind. And I
Right.
think one of the tough
you've
things,
discovered that people are different.
people are
No,
different.
I think
and I
it's
think
like-
it is kind of tough for like, I think as some, like, I tend to find the girls that are like less sure about having kids.
Yeah. I feel like it was also the South. I mean, I was very like,
Does Texas consider itself the South? Is that, do they call themselves like the South?
People call it like the buckle of the Bible Belt. And like, which I feel like every state calls themselves
Yeah, I feel like
the
everyone
buckle,
does
but
that.
Everyone wants to be that buckle.
we are in the middle though, so I don't know. But yeah, it was very just like culturally, that was just like what was around me. So it's kind of all I knew. Like my parents got married when they were 20 and 21. My mom had me when she was like 24, 25. So it's like that was just all I knew.
Right.
And everyone that I knew wanted that.
Yeah.
Or at least thought that they wanted that. And I think it wasn't till I got to college and I got out of a little bit of that culture. I mean, I did get married in college, so I kind of did that.
Yeah.
But I did start being like, oh, I don't have to have kids. Like, if I don't
I can
want
just do whatever
to.
I want.
Yeah, it was very freeing. And now I think I'm at the point where I'm like, I probably don't want kids in my life. But I just never realized it was an option, I guess, until I got older. So when I was younger, it was just kind of like not even like my personality necessarily that wanted to like get married and have a family. It was just like, oh, that's what everyone does. That's what all my family has done. That's what everybody does when you get older.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting, like, in some ways, at least my stereotypes of Texas, like, it is more of like a monoculture than a lot
Now
of
be
places.
Yeah.
careful here. You don't mess with Texas.
That's true. I'm not messing with Texas. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
you can mess with Texas.
you know what else is a
little bit.
monoculture? Most countries.
Yeah.
Most countries, like Brazil.
Like every other country but ours? Pretty
are
much.
Melting pot, yeah.
Like we
I
are the
mean,
melting pot of the world.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of
I don't know a lot,
variation.
but think about it, like, I don't know, in like Nigeria, there's probably like a prominent culture. I shouldn't talk about Nigeria. I've never been. How about I have been to Zimbabwe? So let's say Zimbabwe, like, there's probably like overall like cultural arc, like most people are kind of this way. This is like kind of the norms, and there's probably diversions from that.
Of course.
But there's not all the cultures of the whole wide world in Zimbabwe.
Or if
right?
there are,
There's
it's a much smaller thing. Yeah.
There's like a few cultures.
Right.
Now,
I don't
so
know.
so like most places in America are kind of pretty melty potty, the major cities, where it's like there's like so much diversity of like there's the Christian population, there's the Buddhist population, so you've got different religions, but then also you have just like different nationalities, and everybody kind of does their own things, and then there's a lot of people who are just very urban and kind of are a little blend. But Texas, I do feel like of states tends to be a little more monoculture, where like when you're talking about like, you know, church, football games, and all the things you're talking about, I'm like, yeah, that is like Texas is pretty like on one. They're on the same page.
So what you're saying is Texas is letting its Christian upbringing show a little bit.
I don't. I'm not
yeah.
even saying anything. I'm just like it's interesting that I'm like, oh yeah, Texas is a little more people, and there's really
like
nice.
insulated.
There's really nice things about a monoculture. I would say that like it's really nice when like everybody likes to go to the game. No
Yeah.
matter who you are, whatever nationality, religion, like we all do this. There's something really beautiful about like being in that space where everybody kind of like has similar values.
I'm a big fan of Texas. It's been always high on my list to move. All my family is from Texas.
Okay, cool.
I was just not born. I was born
Yeah.
in San Diego, but my whole family is mostly from Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Wow, cool.
And it's always been high on my list of states I might want to move to until recently. Recently,
Yeah.
it's been a little harder to want that.
Yeah,
But-
would agree.
To move to Texas?
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I love literally connecting it to this song. I was thinking about this too, where it's like, I love it. I have so many good memories. I will always be like, I'm a Texan at my core. I never want to live there again. I don't like, there are so many things, like problems or like issues I have with it at this point.
Yeah, it's like a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah. And it's like,
rough.
I don't want to be there again, but I do have great memories. And I like being there when I visit.
I wonder if Texas is going to be the next Florida. That's like
I
the
think
direction it's heading.
Yeah, it kind of is already.
Yeah, like I mean, Florida is like the thing is Florida's getting so much worse so fast.
Yeah, so
like,
they're
it can't
going
keep
at
up.
a different rate.
Right.
The same rate.
Texas is like Florida 10 years ago. Give it a few more years. We'll see what Florida's doing.
Yeah.
And then compare. Like, Jesus.
Yikes.
Yeah, Florida is. If I don't know if you I've been following DeSantis fight with Disney World.
No.
So
Sounds like there's a lot of current events I'm very on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
me
governor
too.
of Florida.
Only Taylor for me.
I don't know all the details, and if you are just taking my word for this, please Google it yourself. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But from what I understand, they tried to pass these regulations with Disney World, and they went through, but then Disney World found like a loophole in the new law that they didn't have to follow them. And so the governor of Florida, who's very famous right now for being fucking psycho,
Right.
he was like,
Is that DeSantis?
I'm coming, DeSantis, yeah. He's like, I'm coming for you guys. Like, I'm coming for Disney. He like declared war on
the
Disney.
fuck?
Which is a bad idea. Like, they're going to win.
That is a terrible idea.
And then
They probably
he-
own Florida.
Probably. But then he got, I guess he got something passed where his plan, what he said he's going to do is he's building a prison next door to Disney World.
What the
Just to fuck him.
Aren't they
Oh my
trying to?
God.
Isn't he trying to run for president?
Oh,
do
for
people talk about-
sure. He's going to try to run for president.
Yikes.
Okay, so if he's trying to run for president, but he's going to take on Disney, how are you going to win?
Yeah,
You're
that's
not.
really
Disney
what's
will
that word?
bury you. They
But there's
probably
just
pick the presidents.
A war between like DeSantis and Disney right now, and it is amazing. Every once in a while, just like a tweet or like something on Reddit, and I'll just be like, "Oh, this is so good." It just makes me feel so happy because Florida's such a dumpster fire.
I gotta look into this.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
The alliteration is great.
Alliteration?
But Disney DeSantis.
Oh,
Disney
Yeah.
DeSantis dumpster fire.
Ooh,
wow.
you should get into clickbait. Anyway, should write songs.
No,
So we were talking about you, and we got like really spiraled off.
as we tend to
And
do.
that is our goal.
Fair. That
But
happens.
yeah, I was just trying to say that I don't think all girls. Not, I don't know how I want to say this. Like, there's a lot of girls who grow up not wanting a family to get married,
Right.
and I think that, but they end up feeling like something's wrong that they don't want that, or they feel judged or feel weird about that. I'm not saying you're saying anything against that or anybody's like, I don't think anything's like any of it's like right or wrong. I think people just grow up different ways.
Right.
But I was like bringing that up in response to your comment as like a side point because you were talking about how you kind of grew up like, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a musician.
And when did the music come in? Is the real
Yes.
point. Yeah.
In college, so I went to college in Texas also, and I met actually. There's the connections that happened that are still in my current life are crazy. But basically, like one of Seth's friends was a producer and he had a studio. So I was like, I think I want to do this. I want to try to do like make it something. And his name was Zach and he had a studio. And my ex, also his house was a studio. Zach's studio flooded and he couldn't use it. And Zach knew my ex somehow and was like, hey, do you want to work on this girl's album with me? And that is how he became my producer.
Wow.
And that's really, so yeah, I was like 18 and I was like, oh, I guess I could like try to do something with this. And I still was like, oh, it'll be like a background thing, like my hobby. Mm-hmm. And then the more that I was writing and like really enjoying it, I was like, oh, I could maybe try to do this for a career. And that's what I'm trying to do. But also it's just like, I think I've realized the older I've gotten and like the more experiences that I've had at this point, it's like, I'm going to be doing this forever. Like I will be writing music because it's like my personal, it's like the way that I cope with the world and like get through things. And that's always comforting to be like, at the end of the day, this is something that I love to do. And it would also be fun if I could do it and make money, you know?
Yeah, that'd be dope, right?
It'd be dope. But also, I think I'm also just like so much more open-handed about life with this, like,
yeah,
with like losing something that I was like, I will never lose this. I think it showed me that like it's a lot more freeing and fun to live life without like holding on to everything so tightly and being like, if this doesn't work out, that's okay. I'll do something else. There's always something to do that will be fun and exciting. And like, I am much less prone to like put all my eggs in one basket or be like, this is a thing that I have to do. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be crushed. It's going to ruin my life. I'm kind of like, if it doesn't work out, then I'm like, I want to have a good time while I try. And if it, you know, that's like, honestly, most of my life right at this point is like, how can I have a fun time and like be a good person and do things that I like doing? So that's how I was like, yeah,
am I
music.
kind of gathering like that wasn't you
No.
pre-divorce?
I was so like, this is like who I have to be. And like, this is the plan for my life. If it doesn't work out, it's like I failed and I'm not doing like God's plan for my life. And I just have been like, I don't think there is a plan. And I love that about life. Like, and I just think that there's so many ways you can live and so many things you can end up doing. And to me, I've realized it's so much about how you are doing the experiences that you have versus what the experiences are. So it's like, I can choose to find things to be grateful for, which sounds so like cliche, but I truly have been like...
But gratefulness is like important.
Yeah, it's like changed my life, which sounds really like trite in some ways to be like being grateful for things has made me like a happier person, but it 100% has because I don't know.
Well, I switched my thinking like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago from the idea of like a plan for your life to a purpose for your life.
Yeah.
So like a plan would suggest that like there's like laid out exactly what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But a purpose is more like, you know, just like, for instance, okay, if your purpose is like, I don't know, to bring people more happiness, let's say. Right. I don't know, that's not my purpose. That sounds lame. But like if my purpose is like to spread joy, that sounds better. Okay. Like the purpose, if it's a plan, it's like day 1 you did this, and day 2 you did this, and day 3 joy. But like, you know, and then if day 3 you slept in, plan ruined. What happens now? It's all off course. But if it's purpose, or if the purpose of your life is like to spread joy, then it's like, you know, if day 3 you had a bad day and everything got messed up, that's fine because day 4 your purpose still exists the same way.
Right.
And so anyway,
Yeah, I think that's it's been a helpful way for me to deal with life and being like, because I'm like, yeah, my purpose, I feel like, is I want to be someone who like cares about other people and lets myself be cared for also. Because I just think that's like the point, is like love other people and be loved, which is like one of the things I feel like I am grateful for about my childhood, is like that was at the core of what my like Christian upbringing taught me, was like loving other people.
Yeah, it's like be good to people.
Yeah, and I'm like that.
Yeah, there's some great core
feels
values
like
there.
like if that is still my core value, a lot of the rest of it, you know, I've peeled away, but I think that is what we're here for a lot of to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we are coming up pretty close to our ending time here. But before we do...
now here's where I usually sidetrack into a diversion.
True, but I try to stop that because I'm like, I got to go home with my wife.
Right.
But then I make us go into another thing anyway.
Okay.
But if I could just say, that was like a really beautiful, like kind of ending to...
Yeah, that's why I felt like it was a good
Thanks.
moment for
And
it.
so I think you called it.
Yeah.
That was a good
That
choice.
was a good moment.
I
I felt
agree.
it.
We can move on.
I waited until there was like a couple
Yeah.
seconds of delay so we could all
pause.
process. And
Yeah,
then,
it just felt right.
and then you know, jump into it.
Great job, team. We really
Way to
like
go.
brought
Really
this
nailed it
together.
today.
I really
You're
feel
doing
like
a great
we did.
job being
60%
profound.
of the time, it works every time.
Yes.
It's a great one.
Do you know that reference?
Yeah. What's it from?
It's from Anchorman.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That
good.
was a long time ago, but I do know it.
Oh,
Oh.
that's actually a good call.
We'll get there. We'll
Okay.
get there. Yeah. Good. Keeping that in mind.
So there's one question that we do ask every
Mm-hmm.
guest. Every guest that comes, we ask the same question. Do you already know the question?
Yeah, I do, because I watched the whole thing. You watched the whole thing. I literally was like, I'm gonna be the one who knows this fucking question.
Because you know what?
No one does.
Every time I
I'm-
ask people, have you seen any of
I
the
like
show?
you.
And what I'm
60%
asking
of
is,
the
do you know
time.
what the question is?
Yeah.
And they always go, yeah. But they never,
They
I know they
don't.
didn't get that far. No one ever gets that far.
I did it.
We're doing it anyways.
Okay.
Great. I'll pretend.
Did you already think through your answer?
Well, I'll tell you what my initial thought was when you asked Abby. Is-
Don't now.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
duh, you
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know
Okay.
the question.
How would you ever know?
Thank you.
Isn't it better if I do know the question? Because that means I did listen.
I'm actually impressed.
Actually, yeah.
I'm actually
it's
pretty
like,
impressed by that.
As
Thank
somebody
you.
doing their homework, yes, it's way
I'm a
better. Like, that's
dedicated
very
person.
impressive, apparently.
Yeah, almost everyone's like, yeah, I watched X Persons. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you didn't. You
My-
watched like an hour, which
This is
a
a great
lot.
way to like prove someone's faithfulness to the podcast.
But anyways.
Yeah, what are you gonna do now?
It's hard to know.
Oh, you think I'm changing anything? Not a goddamn thing. So here's the deal.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't like that in my ears. It's so scary.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do.
It is so intense, and when you do it, IRL.
Yeah, we've nailed the vibe.
Yeah.
How
now-
weird is it that you just like watched a show and then now you're on it?
Now I'm here.
Is that
just-
weird?
Yeah.
Now the
playing a
important
role.
thing about this question is the answer must not come from here.
You really watched. You just looked at me. You're like, this is when you say a thing. And for the audio only listeners, he's pointing to his head,
It must come from here.
his heart, or your heart, actually.
Yeah,
not
it is,
from
that'd be
mine.
weird.
You're like trying to guess what's in his heart.
Like, what could
that
it
would make
be?
it more interesting.
It
That would
would,
switch
yeah.
up your answer a bit. Yeah.
So if you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now the important thing coming
not just
from
gonna ask
your
it?
heart, not
You're
your
not going to
head.
just jump in and ask
No,
it?
of course not.
Okay.
We got to make sure you know what you're getting into.
Tension.
Is that an answer quickly?
Okay.
I don't want you to think about your answer, even though you probably already have.
Yeah.
We needed an immediate answer.
Immediate
Unthought of.
answer.
And if your immediate answer, because you've never been in this, you might have seen an episode, but you've never been in this moment before.
You've never been in the
So
hot seat.
neither have we, by the way.
True.
So
This is new for everybody.
This is a new moment. So if a different answer should come to your head than the one
fine.
you
Whatever's
meticulously
from your soul.
pre-planned,
Is it
then
the
that's
same
the correct answer.
question every time?
We're gonna find if you had to choose.
And
is-
you do.
Could throw me off. I only
And
watched one episode.
You do. What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
Baby.
I don't even care that you had it pre-planned. That was such a ridiculous answer. Baby turtle?
That was what came to
you're
my
right.
brain
That
in the
works.
pot. Whenever y'all ask Abby, I was like, baby turtles. That's
Hey,
my favorite
legitimate.
kind.
That's
I don't know any of the. I know snapping.
Everybody knows snapping, right?
That's
the
the
one.
only other. And like, yeah,
Half the people.
What
say
was
snapping.
Abby's answer? Was it
I
snapping?
don't remember.
she said snapping.
Yeah. Classic answer. Right? Everybody says
Yeah, but
that.
I'm like, I don't really care about the big ones. I like the little
Yeah,
turtles.
the smaller the
Like-
turtle, the better.
The little baby ones that like fit in your hand. I used to find those as a kid.
Okay.
They're so little and cute. I think they're the best kind.
I think we learned something today, and that is
Doesn't matter if somebody knows the question.
you-
It's still worth asking.
if you end up interviewing an entire friend group for your podcast,
Eventually someone's going to know the
now-
question.
Yeah, and I did. Yeah, no one even told me.
Right.
I could have asked. Well, no, I
Right.
couldn't.
No,
I
they
wouldn't have known that
shouldn't.
there was
Yeah,
a
you wouldn't have known.
question.
One of my
And if you did, they shouldn't tell you.
Yeah,
For the
I'll
record,
never
if you've been a
tell.
guest on this show, which I know you're all listening to every episode,
Right.
don't tell anybody the question, obviously.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know you knew Abby, and so but I sent you her episode.
Yeah.
And I figured maybe if I was lucky, you'd watch like 3 to 5 minutes tops and just get a little bit of picture of what this is
Oh,
going
I watched
on,
2 hours and 15 minutes.
which is incredible.
So as the
you.
most prepared guest we've ever had,
Thank you.
how is it watching it versus being here?
Yeah. Ooh, I've never thought about that.
Oh, I
Like,
mean,
is it what you thought?
I think it's honestly not gonna lie more fun than I thought.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm
Look
like,
at us nailing it.
yeah, y'all are doing a great job, and it's fun. It's fun to listen to. Also, it's fun because I did know Abby, and I was like,
Yeah.
hearing like the story about her parents really got me. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Did you
parents
hear
meeting on a
things
plane.
on that episode of her, like things you didn't know as a friend?
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, I feel like we always talk about this. Like my friend group in Nashville and hers are like so close. We're all like touching, but we don't all hang out a lot. So I see them. We all know each other. We see each other on the internet or whatever, but we don't hang out a lot. So I did learn a lot about her.
That's awesome.
It was fun.
What I used to tell people all the time, and I still say this occasionally, is if it is something that is Googleable about you, I don't care.
Yeah,
That's not what I want to talk about.
that's fun.
You know,
a fun way to
like,
do it.
yeah. Though, no. Now everybody knows about your secret rock Instagram, so
But
now,
they don't
now
know
they're
what
gonna
it's
find
called.
it. There can't be that many.
I don't know. It has a fun little name. Using my secret real name, which nobody
Which
knows.
you definitely didn't say earlier.
Yeah, can't bleep it out.
I feel like
Can't
by
let
using
anyone know.
ChatGPT, I could figure this out.
What is that?
What? No, you're full of shit. You know what that is.
No, I don't.
Oh, wow.
Wait, really?
Wait, is that the AI thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay,
AI.
I didn't know
okay,
the
you
name.
Do know. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way you haven't heard of this yet. Like,
I'm
it's
like, I actually do
impossible.
live under a rock.
I'd be
Literally,
like,
legit. You
using-
actually do.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by rocks.
Is it called Under a Rock?
No,
Oh my god,
my
that's a
God.
good name though. That's a good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
that would be fun.
I'm
If
gonna
somebody
be
else
like,
out there is listening, really into rocks, is trying to start an Instagram, that's a great name.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
go to
should do it.
ChatGPT and I'm gonna be like, given that her name is X, come up with cute Instagram names for a channel all about her rocks.
You're just gonna Google them all.
Wow.
Search them all on Instagram. I'll find it.
It's not. I will say it's not that complicated. It's pretty
Okay.
simple, but it is a little bit. It's like flirting with being punny, but it's not a pun. You know?
Sure. You didn't full
I
commit.
feel like I know
No.
what it is now, but I won't say it because you don't want people to know.
Yeah. I'll tell you after.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments of this year was when we were here with Dylan and we got to the question and we were doing our whole build up and we were like building,
which gets
building,
longer and longer over time.
building.
Love it.
And then we asked him, we had the moment where I was like, wait, do you know this question? And he was just like, no, just ask me anyway. Just
Oh my
ask me.
God.
He's like, I want it. I want it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And he's just like, I want this. Like
That's
he
so
knew.
funny that
So he knew.
He
I forgot
also
about
knew.
that.
I did know
yeah.
this because y'all did talk about it in Abby's podcast.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
That shows you how little I remember sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you because I'm like, y'all do this a lot.
Yeah.
I listened to one episode today, so it's fresh.
Once per week. You have a 3-hour chat. You're gonna forget some things you
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I forget most
Yeah,
of the
and
things
you'll probably
I said.
talk to each other outside of this, although I don't know.
No,
Not
I
really.
hate him after.
You're like, yeah, we don't actually speak. We leave. We go our separate ways.
Did you ever see that old cartoon with the dog and the is it a coyote or a fox or a wolf? It's a wolf. It's a wolf and a sheepdog, and the wolf is trying to get the sheep, and the sheepdog is protecting the sheep. And
Is this a riddle?
it's kind of like
Yeah,
no.
feels like
Sorry. Okay, so have you ever seen the Roadrunner and Coyote?
yes, long time ago.
Coyote and Roadrunner.
But you know what that is.
classic,
I know
You
what
get
it
the
is.
concept.
I don't
classic
watch
that
it.
era of like 50s or 60s
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah.
Okay. So it's like same era, but in this version, it is a wolf trying to get sheep and a sheepdog trying to thwart the wolf from getting the sheep. So it's all about the wolf creating elaborate plans to get sheep and the wolf dog, usurping him, like outsmarting him. And anyway, at the end of the day, the funny thing about the cartoon is like it's very meta, but they clock out at the end of the day like this is their job, and they go in and like punch their time card.
Oh, that's super
And
familiar.
they
I've
punch
definitely
in
seen
and
that.
punch out, and then they're friends. They're like, "Hey, Sam, yeah, see you tomorrow. Oh, see you tomorrow. I'll try to get him." Ha ha ha.
It's like the opposite of y'all.
No, that's like us. That's like we punch in and we're like, "All right, let's be best friends for this podcast, right?" And then afterwards,
I'm
it's
like, fuck that guy.
punch out. Yeah, I just can't
You're like-
stand his guts.
Yeah. Damn.
Anyway, we're getting really deep down the rabbit hole, but
As we do.
The point is, baby turtles.
Yeah.
That's a
And-
great answer, too.
Thank you.
We've never had that before.
Now,
Hell yeah, I
It's
love to be
rare that we
unique.
get a unique answer anymore. It's been a lot of episodes.
There's not that many kinds of. Well, I
There's
did hear
probably
that there
yeah,
are,
there's
but no
tons.
one knows all those turtles.
We need a turtleologist on here.
Yeah. I get more niche.
So Jerry's gonna ask you a question in a second, but before we do, I want to ask you. We're gonna play one of your songs for the outro. Do you
From
have
Spotify.
From Spotify. Do you have a preferred song that isn't one of the two you played?
Maybe one that's called IDKT. It stands for I don't think you know how much I fucking love you. Would love that to be the outro one.
I don't think you know.
I don't.
It's the second
how
song on the
much
EP.
I
If that helps, it's a lot of letters. I thought it would be funny.
It is. It's really hard to find.
Oh, you're searching it? I would search.
Yeah, just
maybe
go to her page,
search
go to her
Silvie,
channel,
and
yeah.
then or 1128 is the title of the EP. That would probably both of those would be easier.
Okay, Silvie. This is a good for listeners. Go to Spotify. You search for Silvie,
With an I. Silvie.
Yep,
and you go. What's the EP called?
1128 should be pinned.
I'm pretty bad at
Well, while he's looking for that,
releases.
let all the people know where they can find you. Here, MySpace, Instagram,
Oh,
Zing.
Yeah, my
and for
MySpace.
everybody listening,
Live journal.
1128 is not the numbers; it's spelled out. 1128.
Did not
That's
clarify
where-
that. Yeah, it's the letters. You can find me Silvie.music on Instagram. Silvie.music, I think, on TikTok. My website is called Silvie.rocks.
Nice.
Which I don't know why anyone would get on a website, but you could look at it and then I just like
I usually go on the artist website. So it's
Really?
like the one thing I do. I try not
Okay.
to look into the artist very much because I don't want to know. Anything.
yeah.
But I will go on the
Surprised.
website to like look at their links.
Yeah.
And that is one good thing websites are still for. It's a collection of links.
That and like merch, I feel like.
Merch, yeah.
It's like and tour, I guess.
But even then, you can use
tickets.
like Shopify or something
Yeah,
else.
it's really dumb. Anyways, yeah, that. And I think that's all. I'm trying to think. Are there other Spotify? Silvie.
Yeah. Live journal.
I don't know what that is.
Wow, you should get hip to the times.
What is it?
Just kidding. It's like a social media from like '95.
Oh, this makes sense. I
Yeah.
was not born.
Yeah, you weren't even alive probably when this was out. But I love bringing it up every episode because I know to noise rhyme that I do.
That's love this. Besties.
But anyways, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
was
for
really
coming.
fun.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we had a great time.
I love it.
And here's IDTYKHMIFLY.
I don't even know the letters.
But anyways, guys, as always, thanks for coming out. You guys are awesome, and we'll see y'all next time.
Sorry you didn't ask me what I was doing last night when I came home late from the bar. And I don't think you care. I know you like to be impressive to everyone else in your life, and I don't wanna take that from you. But I hope you know I'm here. I don't think you know how much I fucking love you. I don't think you know how much I fucking love you. And all the lights out on the highway only remind me of you and the time I laid in your arms. Do you remember my fingers? And it was hot like the 90s. Being a kid in Texas got you kissed like the